Welcome to Open Minds, Open Mic, the place to be on a Friday night. We have a special delight for you. A man that we all love so much and we ain't seen much from. He said he been ducking off, writing new stuff, just filling up his arsenal of poetry. And yeah, we got Dee Allen for y'all tonight. So we're gonna do it a little different tonight. We're gonna go ahead and do 5 people from the round one open mic. We're gonna do his first feature set. We'll do 5 more people from the open round mic, go into the second feature set, and then we'll finish off round one, and then go into round two. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna start y'all off with a poem that I wrote when I was 15 years old. It's called Officer Please. Excuse me, officer, please. Can you lift me from my knees? Take the cold steel shackles off my hands. I'm a human too. Stop feeding me these commands. Now try. Really fucking try to look me in my eyes. Can you not see the pain I hide? The innocence leaking from my pores? Or are you blinded by the corruption and brutality that has owned many lives before? So I'll ask again, please. Cease to question my resistance. Give me a chance to speak and prove my innocence. Or are your superior ears too good to hear my cries? Or maybe it's just me, muzzled by stereotypes and corrupted lies based on people who live life like mine. So I'll ask you, officer, one more time, please delete my guilty image from your mind.
Oh,
And then I got another one or two here that I don't think Dee's heard yet. Some of y'all may have heard it, but I just love it, man. It's such a good piece. It's short, simple, sweet. It's called Reaching the Top.
all right.
My idea of honor, fame, and glory would be to change this human story. Aim my pen right towards the greedy elite. Make sure there's no one left cold in the street. Full bellies, warm clothes, smiles for all. If we work together, this system will fall. Rise from the ashes like a phoenix. Leave the world better for all who have seen it. Is it genius to displace our own genus? The human race is a family, trust me, I mean this. Reaching the top would be like teaching the cops to be nice, no matter the skin tone or the walk of life. I'm so sick of the injustice thrust amongst us. My people, we are all equal. Stay tuned for the sequel. Thank
All
y'all.
right.
Thank y'all.
Woo. Woo. Yes.
All
That was
right, so coming up in round one, we have Principe, and on deck, Merilee Johnson. So Prince P, if you could unmute yourself and bless us with some words, we'd appreciate it.
I'll be reading my poem called Dream Away. I'm a dreamer filled fully with enchanting fantasies that stalk my wandering mind. As a child, I daydreamed the day away, forever fantasizing about the future. I am still doing this. Even school was a daydreaming place from my mind. Seated in desks that held my body, but not for long. My restless mind moved me like I had a gigantic spider on my angular body. All this dreaming lay perfectly in its holster, my mind.
all right.
Thank you.
Yeah, everybody unmute and give it up for Prince
Yes.
P.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Hey, it's my girl.
So good.
Hi.
So good. All right, so coming up next, we have the lovely Merilee Johnson. If you could unmute yourself and bless us with some words, we'd appreciate it.
Thank you. So as long as I stay like under like 1 to 2 minutes, I'm good. Is that right?
Yeah, you can do 2 3 minute pieces if you want.
Okay, I don't think it'll take that long. But
We usually
I
give about
have
5 to 6 minutes.
oh,
So
okay. Well, I'm just gonna do a short set called The Life of a Bookseller. That's the theme anyway. And I start out with a panku. I genuflect shelf side to bestow customers requested book. And I have a few haikus. I ask, want a bag? Customer says, I'm good. I ask, no? Yes means no. Fight and music, please come immediately. Why to wear a walkie? Boss asked him, have a mental disorder. Witness not called, guilt assumed. And the last one is called To Labor with Love. We should all work together with equal respect. That doesn't seem to happen when our bosses neglect to recognize our expertise and listen to our call for justice and for fairness and justice, and not stall. Better pay, full-time hours, a schedule that's stable. All of these things should be on the table. Instead, we hear arguments on why these plans should fail. A union's more work for me, the CEO wailed. At least I imagine that's how he sounded. The repercussions through the store resounded. We'll take a vote if it comes to that. Union rights for workers from the Fat Cats stat. Workers unite! Thank you.
Yeah. That was,
Yeah, workers unite.
I love it.
Yeah.
Great work, Merilee. Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Everyone unmute and
Very
give it up
nice.
for Merilee.
Very good.
Yeah.
Great
Oh,
haiku.
I am just now realizing I forgot to add Scribbles. She came in right after Elemental, right? For anyone who is here, I think she did. If not, that's where she's going anyway, because I'm pretty sure that's what happened. All right. So coming up next, we got the General himself, Generalissimo. Or should, okay, before, okay. Yeah, Generalissimo, if you can unmute yourself and bless us with some words, brother, we'd appreciate it.
Okay, great. Need to save for school. Okay, this I wrote yesterday. It's called A Very Special May 11. Today is a postcard. As I cross the green metal truss bridge from Brunswick to Topsom, I notice how the forest green trimmed maroon brick Fort Andros Mill building looks as if it had been born by the sky. The perfectly clear sky looks as if it is a baby blue wall with cotton balls glued to it. Where the dam empties rapids into the mighty Androscoggin, seagulls are gliding over its current as if they are posing for a non-existent photographer. The tops of every leaf on every tree I pass shimmer and glimmer in the sun as if they are a taffeta on a gown worn by a movie star, while they cast shadows upon the soft shag carpeting swaths of green grass where their trees reside. This state of Maine mid-May day is a temperate 73 degrees with an ever so slight breeze that brushes across my cheeks as if I were being kissed by an angel, as if I were being kissed by an angel, as if I were being kissed by an angel. And whilst driving into the Target parking lot for my overpriced doctor-prescribed chemical drugs, I believe that when I exit my car, the asphalt will transform into a field of dandelions in full fluff, orange jewelweed, and Queen Anne's lace, because I refuse to allow today to cease being a postcard. Poem 2.
Oh,
Yo,
he's beautiful.
So since I mentioned dandelions, I had to pull this one out. This is called The Dandiest Lions of Them All. This is the time of year lawns of green grass fear, when bright yellow dandelions spring from the ground and appear. They have yet to transform their petals to find feathers to be disappeared by human breath or windy weather. Their leaves had yet to produce salad greens, but their flowers can be used in rice and stews to dye such food sunshiny hues. They can be tossed raw into chicken, potato, and pasta salads for pops of color and texture added. They can be used for a sweet floral wine, which is always worth the weight of the fermentation time, or they can be left to paint yellow polka dots in the grass and grow long leaves for summer salads to nurture our bodies and minds as we sip on early spring dandelion wine. Then one final poem.
Wow, that one.
Thank you. It's called How Putting Off Bar Mitzvah Thank You Notes Caused Me to Temporarily Lose a Nostril. I was 13 years old when Hurricane Frederick hit Mobile, Alabama on the Wednesday after my bar mitzvah. We lost well over a dozen oaks and pines, 8 shingles, and 1 chimney, which lay in the side yard, having avoided the neighbor's fence by a few feet. We also lost electricity for over a week. We had a piped-in gas grill on our back patio, so all the neighbors ate meals at our house. Unfortunately, after hurricanes, a lot of food in fridges and freezers get spoiled. The National Guard handed out ice and dry ice from trucks in various locales. We drove en masse to the Albertsons parking lot every morning to stand in line for ice and dry ice, and everyone kept food in coolers till the electricity came back on. What food was able to be salvaged rather than spoiled, then thrown out, would be cooked on our gas grill. We set up tables and chairs. The Dukes, Yarks, Grossmans, Waters, and Stantons all gathered on our patio for meals. Residents had to clean debris from their yards for days. Neighbors banded together to help each other out. I was chewing bubblegum while working in the yard, and after I blew and popped a bubble, a bee stung me just above my lip, which swelled and blocked a nostril. Mr. Yark suggested I hold chewing tobacco against the sting, which deflated the swelling that blocked the nostril. Hold on, is it not? Okay, bear with me 1 second, people. I've lost the end of this thing. So I gotta just get it back up. Hold on. Lessons were learned. 1, after hurricanes, there are lots of bees because every hive everywhere gets destroyed, but bees are resilient little beasts that survive hurricanes. 2, chewing and smacking gum, especially bubble gum that has a ton of sugar, will attract bees with stingers. So don't chew gum while doing yard work after a hurricane because a blocked nostril is no fun, and you will taste the yucky chewing tobacco tannins that help to take down the swelling of your lip. And 3, it ain't the bees' fault that their hives were destroyed, and the good Lord created them with bodies that survived natural disasters. Gracias, everyone. And I'm putting in the chat how you can vote for my poem, which is in a poetry contest.
Yeah, share that link with us. I'll post it out too, man. I'll get that link out to everyone in the Open Minds family because we all love you and we want to support you and we hope that you win. Yeah, for sure. Let's keep this thing rolling.
Nice job, Generalissimo.
Yeah, that's right. Give it up for Generalissimo.
Generalissimo, yeah, hit hard.
I've noted your
Huge fan of your
advice.
pen.
What? I've noted your advice about bees and hurricanes in case that ever happens to me.
Yeah, I took note too. And I love how Gustav's like,
There are a lot of bees on. They now have a lot of beehives on tops of buildings in New York City, don't they?
I like that. That's actually good.
Do you know that they're like have honeybees on a lot of buildings in New York City?
That's
awesome.
Great.
Yeah, that's great. It'll help pollinate, and I know we had an issue with all that, so that's beautiful. It's
Hey,
amazing.
Zans is here, Tommy.
Yeah, so Zans is my nephew who is now 20, 21,
Yeah,
20 years old now. My little nephew, he's just sit on my lap as a baby, and now he's 20 years old. And it's his first time at Open Minds. I don't think he's going to be reading tonight, but You know,
I
if
know, he
everyone
might
could
have wrote
just
something.
if everyone could just unmute for a second and give it up for my little nephew, Zach, Zans.
Hey, welcome.
Greetings, Zans.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Open Minds welcomes you.
That's
It's
how you
unfortunate.
support your
I'm so
fams,
glad you showed
and
up.
just like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
man.
It's
Just
unfortunate.
like that.
I've got D&D at this exact same time, so I'm trying to bounce between this and my D&D party and try not be mean to them.
Well,
Hey
come as
man,
much as you can.
yeah, we do this every Friday, nephew. I hope to see more of you, you know. And maybe it could inspire you to write some poetry too, you know, it's
Oh,
in
I
our
already
family, it's
have.
in our blood. Oh
He already
yeah?
had,
Yeah.
he's written one, yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
watched
So,
3 of the YouTube videos and I was completely inspired, and I wrote 3 poems per YouTube video.
oh my goodness. So are you gonna be
Yes.
sharing with us tonight?
It depends on what my D&D party is doing.
Well, the spot we
Let him
have
know.
left is after the second feature. You could spark it off after the second feature, which will still be another hour or so away. So, you know, if you got time, you can. If not, we'll slide you in when you get 5 minutes to come out and read, because I'd never heard a poem from my little nephew, and I would love to hear that, man. Like, that would be great. All right, so let's
Yes.
keep this thing rolling. Coming up next, we have Nemo Sum and the Magus Gustav Salas. I believe they're doing a collab tonight, right? Salas, y'all doing a collab? Nemo Sum? Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
All right, so let me get you guys on the highlight screen here real quick. Spotlight. And let me find Nemo and add spotlight so we can all see and enjoy your wonderful collab you got for us, man.
All right, this is neurodivergent verses.
Follies and fallacies, defying analyses, dreams and illusions, powerful delusions, the seeds of destruction, undermine your construction, enter at your own risk, erase the hard disk, leave a message at the tone, then please put down your fucking phone. Lather, rinse, repeat, refuse to accept defeat. Stop to see the beauty around you. Don't let the bastards confound you. Believe in yourself. It's the only way. Suffer no fools and live for today. I'm neurodivergent. I'm the Godhead emergent.
Endless emergencies, pointless insurgencies, in a state of confusion, it is all a delusion. Why accept the vain seduction when all that comes is soul reduction? The vows they speak are asterisked. Your friends will all be stopped and frisked. These golems made of flesh and bone would like to buy an ice cream cone. Only with your guests replete can you hit the big delete. Someday these ties will no longer bind you. Until that day, let the good leaf unwind you. It's upside down, the acrobats say, illuminated by yesterday. I'm neurodivergent, the garbage phoenix resurgent.
Blindly following, pig-like wallowing, climb out of the sty. Don't be that guy. Put down the shit sandwich, adopt a new plan which will help us overcome. There's no rule of thumb. Bring peace to all lovers as the UFO hovers and aliens beckon. It's true, I reckon, that love conquers all. Winter, spring, summer, fall, a plan for all seasons with no rhyme or reasons. I'm neurodivergent. My words are urgent.
Like a bird on the wing, learn to dance, learn to sing. It doesn't matter how high you fly. Your body falls down the day you die. Now you're stuck in a ditch. Well, ain't that a bitch? Your comeuppance has come. You cannot say that you're stunned. It's under your covers. It starts with our mothers. The show begins in a second. To the stage I am beckoned. These walls will fall. They'll be having a ball. The goth girls are grieving. These fields aren't Elysian. I'm neurodivergent, ley lines convergent.
Transphobia stupid, arrows from Cupid pierce your heart. Now where to start? Love knows no gender. Refuse to surrender to the mindless hatred. Is nothing sacred? Feel it in your bones. For that love you Jones. Try to remember January to December, all the year round. Fall into the sound of love made manifest. Trust me, it's the best. My neurodivergent love song is all right. It's never wrong.
Your line has been muted. Your rug has been scooted. Your scandalous art is coming apart. You've been on a bender, now you're stuck to a fender, feeling raw, being naked. Your flaws are paraded on and on with their baloney. Their heads are full of mascarpone. Some you chop and some dismember. Burn it all and smell the ember. When the drinks are finally down, they'll find an old queen, newly crowned, thick of neck and slight of wrist, the #1 somnambulist. This neurodivergent love story has come to a close in all its glory.
The poem is done.
And we've rocked to the core.
We hope you had fun.
Because there
ain't any more. Thank you.
Yo, what a surprise, dude. I didn't know y'all was working on a collab. Two of my favorite fucking people, man.
Nice
Like,
work.
yo,
Love you guys.
everyone unmute and give it up for Gustav and Nemo.
That was
I want
awesome, you
to
guys.
ask Mo about one thing to repeat. Just repeat one little rhyme you had. The thing
That
with
was
the ice cream
fire.
cone. The rhyme
I'm
with the ice
sorry.
cream cone. You had two lines. And one, the last one, there was that rhyme. One was with an ice cream cone. I can't remember the whole thing.
Oh, the golems made of flesh and bone would like to buy an ice cream cone.
That is so incredibly wonderful.
That's dope, man. Yo, y'all two together, pure fucking magic, yo. Like,
No,
you
it's
two-
nice.
not only
Thank
are
you
you
so
two
much.
some of my favorite poets, but you two are some of my favorite like peoples. Like we talk, we homies. Like I'm so, and y'all hid this from me. You guys didn't say nothing about like y'all doing a collab. This like I feel like it's a surprise and a late birthday gift for her and an early birthday gift for me, man. Like yeah,
We're also going to do it on Monday night for New Year, I think.
awesome. Yeah, so
Yeah.
make sure you guys are there for Monday Night New Yo to hear it again, because you know you can never hear a song too much. Something that's good like that, like you can listen over and over. And speaking about Monday Night New Yo, we got Elemental in the building. Elemental, what do we got going on for Monday night? When are these features starting? Can you give us a little info?
Man, what's good, y'all? So good to see everyone. Peace and blessings. Looking forward to Dee Allen this evening. Listen, it's Monday night. You know, it's Monday night, man. This week we're just talking about chocolate, man. The decadence of chocolate. You know what I mean? The features are probably gonna start. I don't know about this month. Maybe jump off in the summer. You know, because we just got to put some things all the way together, but they are coming, trust me. And there are some people in this room that you will more than likely see as features at some point, believe it.
I'd like to think I sparked that little idea in your head because we started doing our Friday night features again, and I'd like to think I had a little something to do with that, you know. And even if I didn't, let me just have this one.
Hey, great minds, man. Great minds.
Exactly, right? All right, so yeah, the moment we've all been waiting for, Dee Allen. I got a little intro I'm gonna read for this man, and then we're gonna let him go into his first set. Drink us some water, everybody. Get comfortable in your seats. Um, he's an African Italian performance poet based in Oakland, California, USA. Active on creative writing and spoken word since the early 1999s, not 1900s, he ain't that old. Uh, Author of 7 books, Boneyard, Unwritten Law, Storm Watcher, Skeletal Black, all from Poor Press, and then L.O.E. Unichi. I hope I pronounced it right. I did. And that's and Conviction Part 2, right? And that's from Change Publishing. Then he has Rusty Gallows, Passages Against Hate from Vagabond Books, and Plans from Nomadic Press. And this man has been in 68 anthology appearances under his figurative belt so far. And you know to expect some more. He's going to break 70 soon. We got anthologies being released by so many great publishers all over. And you can never have too much D, you know? It's vitamin D. We need that. We need that in our life. So let's all give it up for the incredible and thought-provoking Dee Allen.
Woo! We love you, Dee.
Dee Allen, come on,
Yeah.
man. Do that. Do that.
Psyched.
Here for it, man.
This feature happens to be in 2 parts. Part 1 begins here. Being Black shouldn't be a death sentence. Rusty gallows. Reddish-brown corrosion covers the whole goddamn structure like a filthy blanket. With so much widespread decay, this old tarnished bridge should have collapsed from crashing waters many floods ago. By some fluke of nature, unscathed by time, it still stands above the muddy Chickasaw River in Shabuda, Mississippi, USA. Once a passageway to a long-forgotten Clark County destination, twice an implement of execution like an iron crucifix. This is you, skull and crossbones etched on the bridge's base, cryptic warning meant for anyone unlucky enough to cross it, and the invisible line away from their place. Between both world wars, unspecified parties. Now, let's rephrase that. Haters strung up 4 boys, 2 girls, both pregnant, young, Negro, and guilty of nothing. Hung from knotted ropes, tied to rusty girders over the coursing river like 6 black flags, sailing in the gentle southern wind. Rusty Gallows, inspired by the nonfiction book Hanging Bridge by Jason Morgan Ward. Disease breeds disease. Strange new ailment giving pneumonia-like symptoms has a ripple effect spanning our globe. Floating on the wind, harm to health. Diaspora of microbes, point of outbreak, Wuhan, China. Within a month, fate's transmission, country by country. Bad news travels fast. Reported cases of coronavirus breeds a second disease. One much older, equally contagious, easier to spot the signs. Point of outbreak, the human mind. Modes of transmission, mainstream media, person-to-person contact. Symptoms include stereotyping, side glances, spiteful feelings, disguised as jokes, bullying, swearing, unprovoked assaults, avoiding restaurants, insulting internet memes, misinformation, discrimination, lumping together Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese, Laotian, and Thai under the heading of Chinese. International travel bans, tendency to run from, duck and dodge, straight black hair, almond-shaped eyes, yellow skin, mistaken notion of Chinese equals virus carrier, and sudden memory loss of the simple fact that Asian lives matter too. The shut door. The shut locked door stands between me and a disaster outside I cannot see, having no effect on animals in the least. It chooses to pounce on human beast. Streets nearly empty, cars and buses free to roam. Shelter from disaster is easy to find inside my own home. Libraries remain closed, restaurants will not serve. Rectangular wood on hinges will help me bend a curve. Flattened for a longer, robust life. Beyond respirator mask and hands covered in latex. No telling how long this infection lasts. While the most foolhardy fall to the flow, safety is mine, sequestered behind the shut locked door. Moving game. On a hunting trip, father and son brought their rifles and a magnum, rolled up in a white pickup truck through a quiet street, tree-lined domain, driven closer on the heels of moving game. Cornered on the roadside, hunters stepped forward to attack. Hot lead poured into their prey. His skin was black. Running athlete, suspected burglar, the line they told the cops later. What would you expect from Georgia backwoods haters? The New South facade disrupted with a passion. The Old South returned in homicidal fashion. Now the hunters are captured and caged and rightfully accused. Father and son find themselves fair game for the rage produced. Moving game in memory of Ahmaud Arbery, 1996 to 2020. Rest in power. The mystery ends. Slavery kept us ignorant and confused and forgetful about our indigenous origins in the motherland across the Pacific, across the Atlantic. The lily white master had some heat in his pants, hankering for some serious heat in his bed, generated with a female slave under his orders. The passion was one-sided. All over Massa's estate, there were half-breeds, quadroons, and octoroons who worked nonstop. Old Massa's occasional matings had produced a whole class of slaves, kept ignorant, confused, and forgetful about their African past. Mass amnesia, it seems, is intergenerational. Confusion, a symptom. People on the street assume I am something other than African. Fijian was thrown at me twice, and Fiji is nowhere near Africa. Guatemalan once, Puerto Rican hella times. Some people have guessed African right, but which nationality? Ethiopian, Eritrean, Burundi, Kenyan, Somali, Sudanese? Not even close. Egyptian? Talk about a massive stretch. Right continent, wrong end of it. The mystery disturbs me something fierce. As history shown, the slave trade never went farther than Central Africa. Although I was born an American citizen, I'm disgusted to say, my Nubian genes, strong, dominant, point a straight line to Africa's western shore. So what was my ancestry then? Malian, Senegalese, Liberian, or Ivory Coastal? To be precise, my DNA points to a land, language, and peoples. Gabon, Mishogo An, Shogo Anateke. Ancestors' identities reclaimed along my tongue. Gabon, Mishogo An, Shogo Anateke. The country they were abducted from, the language they'd spoken before English, both tribes they claimed as theirs. Now I could say with confidence, my history hadn't begun in shackles. Now I could say with certainty who my ancient forerunners were. My newly found African past adds several new words to my vocabulary. Gabon, Mishogo An, Shogo Anateke. Thanks to you, nephew. So determined, hungry for knowledge of self, and the biologist's careful research for my family and for me. The mystery ends. The mystery ends for my nephew, Mike Allen Jr. Without him, I would have never have known about that part of my people's past. Some of y'all know exactly who these guys are. And if you don't, I'm about to tell you in a moment. This is called rolling out. Due to the election victory of opponent Joe Biden, our president's standby order has been rescinded. We're rolling out. Rolling out to save Western civilization. They love to blow on that dog whistle. Rolling out to prevent white genocide. They obviously don't read statistics. Rolling out for the whites who build Western society alone. They obviously have forsaken the slaves who raised up wood, mortar, and stone. Rolling out to give multicultural populace their own racial reckoning for the loss of a fearless leader. Guess who his name was? Rolling out to keep America great on the streets like no other. Maybe Hitler's brown shirts and Nazi skinhead gangs. Rolling out with American flags in their hoard. Proud to sow intimidation, reap domestic terror. Quasi-military boys so proud to be so damn wrong. Wine, based on actual events. One of the most annoying things I've heard of late was caught one morning whilst riding a BART subway train from Oakland to SF. That's San Francisco, y'all. Some lady in sunglasses boarded and took a seat 8 paces from mine, complained to a friend on a smartphone about how she couldn't wait for everything to be restored back to normal. What was considered normal before the pandemic did damage to certain races, classes, sexes, sexualities, abilities, and nationalities of people, species of animals, and this nurturing old earth herself. I don't want to return to the old ways, to methods of man. I want to see change for the better after this global sickness subsides. So you want things to go back to normal, huh? Got any cheese and crackers to go with that wine? Wine, spelled W-H-I-N-E. Based on actual events and places. This is called Broadway. Splotch of Krylon black paints changed the name and character of downtown Oakland's main drag from Broadway to Broadway, and it shows. When the businesses closed down behind thick plywood and nails, polychromatic murals went up, like this one you're seeing here. Coating them with words and images, open air, free of charge, art exhibit over 2 miles wide. Not 2 streets, not 2 blocks, 2 miles wide of murals. Aerosol can homages to the non-Caucasians no longer here. Bayard Rustin, Ray Charles, John Lewis, Sandra Bland, Emmett Till, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and heroes still among the living. Angela Davis, Cornel West, Boots Riley, Stevie Wonder. Different sceneries and different hues declare liberations for the Africans here in the West. The dead deserve justice, the living respect. Who would have thought civil unrest, shattered glass, protesters battling cops could bring a great surfeit of beautiful paint, art for blacks?
Yeah, I wanna hold you there for before you finish your next one. Can we all just take a moment of silence for all these lost souls? Now let's all put our minds together and pray that it doesn't happen again.
Here's to hoping that police brutality of that scale doesn't happen to someone else again. Because that's one of my worst fears as a Black man living in the USA. I could be next. And the last poem for part 1 is a little piece out of my own life. This is called Flamethrower. My internal spirit of rebellion is far from calm, incendiary. Anger builds, single spark ignites, observing injustice. From figures of authority, power moves and prejudice, inferno in the making. Refusing to be the next victim, the next pawn. I know these sensations well. Long ago, I marched on California's streets against animal torture, Middle East oil wars, biotech, white supremacy, police murder. Inferno found released through the plastic weapon clutched in my ebony hands, felt like an assault rifle and equally as loud. My finger on the trigger, my lips on the mic piece, one breath. And the inferno spat forth, forceful, tongue of flame, pure lyrical fire, white hot, righteous rage aimed at the police line, heat searing through lawmen's egos, catchy chant and hook. Tu puercos, protegen, a los ricos, you pigs, protect the rich. Additional flames were unleashed as names of the dead, protectors of capital saw fit to exterminate. Ayana Jones, Alan Bluford, Ernesto Duenas. Following my voice, inching forward like they steps, the march of people had added power. There's no taking back the truth. The street-bound mass and the lawmen that followed and fenced us in front of the cop shop were left wondering who I am. I am mowed in a single man with a sonic flamethrower, battery-powered loud hailer in my tight ebony fist. I am lyrics. I am fire. I am social justice. And that last poem was called Flamethrower for Maureen Medina, Laura Hawkins Greville, and Jenny Kelleher. Originally published in Last Stanza number 10, fall 2022. Part 2 follows in a moment. And now back to the open mic.
Yeah.
Yo, everyone, unmute yourself and give it up for Dee Allen.
Great job, Dee. That's just amazing.
Yes, Dee.
Yeah.
The door one really
Powerful.
got me. I love that
One
one.
after
All the
another.
way dope.
Every
All the
single
way.
time, Dee, every time you bring it.
Right
I love
on.
it. Perfect.
Ooh, Miss
Right.
Jane's in the house.
Yeah,
I
of course
came
she
for
showed
you,
up to see you,
brother.
buddy.
I feel
came
so
for you,
honored.
brother.
Thank you so much for that.
That was
CP
dope
Mays is
reading.
in the house.
Oh, yep. CP just showed up. Yo, I'm telling you, D, we all missed you. You got people showing up who ain't been open minds in a minute because they heard you was gonna be here, and so we got people showing up that ain't been here in a while just because you was gonna be here. Like we missed you. We love you in the community. Thank you again so much for that first feature, man. It was beautiful. We have a little list here we're gonna run through, and then we're gonna get into that second one. So we still part of round one. Um, so like I told you earlier, I wanted to do 5 off the round one list. Your first set of your feature, 5, and then second set. But I noticed we had Lantern Carrier and CP May show up. Would you mind, so this way we don't have to continue off with just them two, would you mind having the 7 people on the open mic list and then doing the second half of your feature? It's just Lantern Carrier and CP. Like if you're cool with that, that's cool. If not, they'll start off after the second set.
I'm happy for him to do it as he wants it.
Oh, well, okay. Well,
Yeah, bring it on, Elsie. I'll always look forward to your word.
All right, so it won't take much longer. We'll try to limit everyone. If you can, just do a short one or a longer one so we can get to the second half of his feature, and then we'll loop around to round two, and maybe we'll get an encore out of this man too. So stay tuned. Um, yeah, that was beautiful, man. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you doing this. And like I said, we all just missed you so much, man. And for you to come through and share your words and your vibe with us, dude, we really appreciate that. Um, I think I'm gonna spark off round two with some y'all all might have heard before, but I just feel that mental health really needs to be taken care of a little more. And voting time's coming up here. I don't know what it's like in the States, but I feel if I put this energy out, this vibe out, like it's gonna make some changes, right? Because a lot of us suffer with mental illnesses and stuff. So this is called Thin as Bubble Skin. It's beautiful yet terrifying how steep our minds are. It's suitable yet verifying how deep you find scars. Thin as bubble skin, human psyche, mighty and meek. Spin crest troubled sins, I'm superhuman, feisty can speak. And poetry openly, honestly, no lies, so wise, grin so wide. Been socially awkward, need to see a doctor, seem locally bothered. Greed control these monsters, globally hoping we have the opportunity to thicken the layer of humanity's bonds. Totally coping, he's half the community, stricken a soothsayer, he truthfully responds. My mind wanders off across vast distances, tried to find responders. I tossed past instances of myself in any direction. Many reflections of yourself in semi perfection, demi inflection. Hold tight to any imperfections. I knew to glue them in place, told right to my face, plenty corrections in lieu of mistakes. One day when his bubble pops, I'll be ready. Won the game, the humble way, slow and steady. Alright, so starting off the second half of round two, we've got Tabatha. She's still in the house. She's been jumping in and out. I see her in here. If you could unmute yourself, Tabatha, and bless us with some words, we'd much appreciate that. Alright, if Tabatha's not here, we'll to keep this thing going, we'll throw her on until we go next. So Parquillian, if you're available, you want to go ahead and start us off, we'll just move Tabatha down a little.
Hey, perfect timing. I just got in.
Oh, excellent. All right, yeah, if you want to start off the round
Yeah,
one continuation.
might get interrupted by my partner coming in here, but I got a short one I can read. I was thinking about tonight. This is let me pull it up here. This is a
Now
poem
tabbing
I
comes
wrote
back.
in college. Let me get the mic working better here. Okay, hope that's good. This is about one of my first experiences seeing what really goes on in the city at night. This is Evening of Echoes. I saw punks drive by in a silver Volvo as a guy struggled to put his eye back in. And the lady said she left coins in her room. Fran said she checked the drawers and everything, or she couldn't stay tonight. I want it now, he yelled at the nervous man. She had lots and lots and lots of money. The voices echoed from the statuary corners. There were no lights where they were going. But the banks just wouldn't take her checks. The shadows were moving, the flowers were firmly bolted shut. And tomorrow was May. Hawaiian rings hummed at a crossing round midnight. So she'd be getting a whole bunch more. And the broken bits of raw spaghetti fell slowly from my hand. Thank you.
Yeah, was dope. Everybody unmute yourself and give it up for
Nice work.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Nice.
all right. Was I lagging some? Our internet's kind of shady, so my wife had to disconnect. So she's gonna be snapping on my cam, I guess. Yeah, Martin, thank you so much, man. That was fucking amazing work. Let's keep this thing rolling, keep this thing trolling. Tabatha, you here ready now, girl? All right, let's all give it up for Tabby.
I'm so sorry. My internet is shitty too. Sorry, guys. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm gonna rock out. This poem is called NYC. I miss all of y'all. Here we go. Nowhere yesterday called. New streets take men you've raised with the absence of tomorrow. Circling the tree of life. 9 yards covered Jose in snow, becoming your neighborhood, creating cemeteries out of buildings. It's not your choice. In tunnels of gray, on yellow streets that lead you to the courtyards that rape men. NYC. Need you clean, not your city. No mother should have to view the young habits that steal the light out of a boy's smile. Customers becoming playgrounds, neglecting your community. Your neighborhood has become less home and more bones. Commuters holding 2 fingers over the face of your brother. Need you change that this yank isn't everyone's war. Circumstances will become examples. NYC, not your corners, never your city. Notice Jose, your neighbor's child. Now he watches as his mother slowly pushes her yellow cart through the mountains of his addictions, calling the memory of when she once stopped and spoke with him. I'm gonna end here so we can get to everybody. Thank you guys. I appreciate the love.
Yo, thank you so much, Tabby. We love you. Thanks for showing up and showing out.
Gorgeous
Yo,
piece, Tab. That's amazing.
I hope to see you again in July.
I will, Gustavo. And good luck on your
Gus,
feature.
you gotta give her a big old hug from me and my wife, all right?
Right?
All right, yo. So up next we got Kristi Skribbles, but I almost forgot something. I believe it was Martin Parker's first time here at Open Minds. I see him so many other places, but I believe it was his first night here. So you know what we like to do. If everyone can unmute for a moment and give a big open mind, open arm welcome to Martin,
Well,
aka
Yeah,
Parquillian.
Welcome, Martin.
Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. All right, let's keep this show going. We got up next Kristi Skribbles. We've been missing you too. I'm so glad you was able to make it tonight. We love you. If you could unmute yourself and bless us with some words, we would appreciate it.
Excited to be here, Dee Allen. That was fucking amazing. Okay, here we go. I wrote this one today. The spiral of the notebook, the spiral of the notebook, winds down the page, winds down those holes, finds rhythm in writing, finds progression in the coiling, moving together to move on down the page. Move on down the page into the center of the story being told, or the play being written, or the sketch being born. Born to move, born to spiral, born to go through holes that hold the whole picture together, that holds the whole story together, that binds the pages inside the spiral of the wire. One piece of coil, center holes, holding space, holding time in this moment that makes it real. The spiral of it all makes it real, holds it tight within the holes, within the paper, within the trees, within the dirt, within the earth, within the solar system, within the galaxy, within forever, spiraling notebooks of pages of the now, of the reality, of pulling it down from the art realm, the realm of imagination and creation and transmutation, the place of the magic that allows it all to be, to come, to spiral down from there, to here, to page, to notebook, to spiral, to hold, to torn, to tear, to start, to erase, to be, to do, to create that spiral from there to here, to page, to notebook, to art. Thank you.
Ooh, everybody unmute and give it up for Kristi Skribbles. Coming
Yes,
back
Kristi.
strong.
great new shit, right? Wow.
Wow.
Yes, Chrissy.
Oh, we love it. We love it. I love the notebook metaphor throughout it all. Like, oh, cause yo, that's how I started writing, on a little spiral notebook, right? Like, I love it. All right, so we're gonna keep this thing going. Wait, who we got joining in? Oh, Dane's here. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna ask y'all to keep it to one poem each before the second round, and we can go in a little more, because I was gonna do five of the open mic, but then we have a few people that showed up a little late. So we'll just kind of keep it short, run through so that we can hear the second feature, and then we'll loop back around on round two. So coming up next, we got the host of the New Eurekans Monday night dope ass poetry show. If y'all don't know, y'all need to get on it, but I'm sure we've all been there. I think that's where I met half y'all at. Anyways, we got the elemental god himself, bro. Like, yo, this man pen, like he says, must have been forged by some blacksmith, because this shit is always sharp, always on point. We got to hear a dope feature from him like last month, and coming up June 30th, he got more shit, bro. Like he couldn't fit it all in one feature. So I was like, well, let's give some other people a shot. And then June 30th, Elemental, another feature. We're gonna hear the half of his poetry book, the other half of his poetry book, everything he been writing. So I usually don't do this before, but everybody unmute and give it up for Elemental.
Yes,
Woo!
Elemento.
Yeah,
Elemental,
Give
yeah.
it up.
Elemental.
Put
The
it up.
host
Put
with
it
the
up. Put
most.
it up.
E, let's go.
Yes.
Listen, y'all really, really make this thing go. Really, to every poet who touched the mic before me and after, I truly, truly appreciate all your energy. Shout out Open Minds, man. This is really the spot on Friday nights, man. For real. Tabs, I ain't seen you in too long. Damn it, don't make me yell at you, Tabs. Always good to see you. Real quick, I'm gonna do a short piece and get out of here. I'm trying to make sure I get all of Dee Allen set for real. Always great to hear Dee Allen. This is somewhat of an older piece. It's A New Way Forward. How do you spell change? Not trinkets that coin phrases like, how do you make $1 out of 15 cents when all you have is hope resting on heavy hearts and bills whose weight parallels gravity? Make it hard to sleep. Sometimes all you can do is pray for monetary miracles granted by demons that see nothing wrong with making America the great homeland of brutality again, where families died trying to save babies from massive footsteps around confined quarters with nickel-plated bravado manifested as toxicity. Literally a virus from house carcinogen, poisonous primitive thinking turned piracy, democracy with old world policies when wars were waged for much less than generations. They emerged victors, spoiled soil of equilibrium for Allurian dreams with King Midas envy at the cost of souls underfoot, ground into progress that's now $1,700 an ounce. And last time I checked, we, the 99%, don't collect resources in mass amounts for prosperity of self. Hidden in bureaucracy, made hatred heir to ill-gotten fortunes of life insurance policies paid out with IOUs that sound like minority college admission increases. Check the box, because we don't speak generational wealth fluently. We speak lemonade, devour sour sentiments in acidic solvents, better known as disruptive behavior that blisters summers offensively, make Beyonce out of sour seasons. Now we ape shit, transform your vile, maniacal laughter to star power. In every flash, Wakanda lives. Be fearless, be free, and live, because the revolution lives in you. Peace, y'all.
Thank you.
Yo,
Thank
the
you.
revolution lives in all of you. Unmute yourself and show this man that we are part of the revolution. Elemental.
Such a treat to hear you,
Yeah.
Elemental. This is fantastic.
Awesome.
Always a blessing, man. I'm looking forward to that second feature, man. June 30th. It's right after my birthday, too. It's the week after my birthday, so it's kind of like a little birthday gift for me, man.
Elemental. Always bringing it.
Hey, all this energy is for Dee Allen this evening. You know what I mean? Keep sharing it, keep bringing it, y'all, because you know we're gonna bring in the second set. Come on.
Yeah. Speaking about features and stuff too, the next man on this mic is a legend. What do you call him, Ellen? The fucking Jedi Master? Mr. Skiff himself, bro. Like, hey, this man, I remember the first time I heard him on New York, I had chills down my spine. And he ain't never been to open minds much, and I was like, I just shouted him out, dude. I was like, hey, Skiff, man, like, bro, my wife and I absolutely love your poetry. Like, would you be able to come through and do a feature? And he's like, yeah, I got you. I'm a little busy on this day. Let's do it. So June 2nd, Paul Skiff is gonna be featuring here. Next week we got Dominique Colding and then Terry Rose and then Paul Skiff, Ed Potastic. We got a good line coming up, man. So y'all look forward to that. I hope y'all here for June 2nd for Paul Skiff's feature because it's gonna be amazing. Yeah, man, if you can unmute yourself and just bless us with some words, we'd appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for that warm welcome. I'm here with such a great circle of poets. It's just such a pleasure to be in such a vital space with you all. So I'm just going to do this one piece. It's kind of one of my theme songs, so to speak, has a title. And I was really feeling Tab's piece, so kind of encouraged me to go with this. The title is Mother Loisida. Your potent milk was always served street smart, straight up with 2 pieces of ice. You told everybody, Loisida, I am a poet. Cuando la orden de los blancos echaronme en la basura. When twin tumors swelled in JD's mouth, when Bimbo's ardor-filled heart froze, when city government named 3rd Street Reverend Pedro's, when a drug cornered Diane in the dead-end pathology, when Butch's final bow orphaned his choir of poets, when Senen saw the Alufa in her visions, then walked off with him to sit among the Orishas, when Seku's car flipped over the embankment, when A-Train never awakened from his last dream, when Miguel laid aside his 30-year miracle, eluding the virus that snuck into his love. I buried them all underneath my heart. Then you, Loisida, gifted to me another dawn. Today, I still follow all of their voices into your generosity that is this time, here, right now. Now, when you have almost disappeared while real estate greed tries to rip apart your heart, I know wherever I go for the rest of my life, your wisdom is harbored in my blood. For the blessing of us all, You played the most vicious mayors for time, and they lost. And now the rich youths who take your homes without feeling your songs, they live without harmony in oblivion. Your birth was mythology before we became offspring of your oracles, which instructed us with survivals to declaim into your sky a legacy for your revelations. And when the two towers fell all the way down into the ground, I filled up with collective moan of 1,000 neighbors on Second Street, testimonial chorus sounding a mournful thunder, which was the dignity of all humanity who have ever existed. Then you embraced us with enduring strength of the creation we together as one breathe each day. In every word you give the air to that lives from our throats. You are more than your streets and avenues, more than your population, more than all the years, more than this earth. You have been here since forever, waiting for us. This I know, because you are the one who took me to bed each night in the universe of sanctuary dreams, whose force no human may equal, with the destiny of our having shared your unconditional love that teaches our survival is a respect for your life, which will be here as long as the stars clothe your streets with cosmic brilliance. I praise you, Loisaida, with loud, fervent declamations of my love, for you are alone the one who nurtures me and to my heart confirms I do not require permission or approval from anybody. You empower my breaths with fierce heritage, Loisaida. In my thoughts, you rest untamed love. I will always be proud to say, Loisaida, you are my mother.
As long as the stars shower their celestial beams over your streets, like Skiff.
That poem had a
Thank you,
mystical
everyone.
quality to it.
Yeah,
No
everyone.
wonder he's called the Jedi Master.
Yeah, everyone.
I can
Unmute,
feel
give
it.
it up, and look
Very
forward to
different when
his
that
feature
gentleman
June
shows up.
2nd, man.
That was
Very,
dope,
very different.
Skiff.
That was
That was
incredible.
dope. Yes.
Yeah, Paul.
And I don't know if you know Frog Corpse or not, but I know the people that know Frog Corpse and know Skiff. Can you imagine them two working on a collab together? With that fucking voice, it's just so like,
Yeah, that would be really, really good.
yeah, I don't know if you know Frog Corpse yet, Paul, but like we need to introduce y'all because y'all both have that like just that I would love to hear a collab from y'all, man. Like
The first time I heard him was at a thing put up by Melissa Prada.
yeah,
Heard him
The
last.
word is right.
word is right.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So
Big
I've
shout out
always
to
been impressed by him. Yep.
Yeah, dude, and I can imagine like y'all need to get together and do a collab because like that would fucking just make my day, man. I'd be so happy to hear a collab with you two, like, cause you guys have such a way with like your tone and your voice and just the way like you convey your words and just complexities and like you're still feeling that last line and like the other one creeps in and it's fucking beautiful, man. And I would love for y'all to collab on some shit, man. Like if I gotta set it up, I'll be the man to set it up, you know. But like I would love to hear that shit, bro. I would love to hear that. But yeah, so let's keep this thing rolling. Coming up next, I noticed Robert F just came in. Rob, we're gonna have to move you to the front of round 2, but then you can close off round 2 because we're trying to get to the next the second half of the feature set, and then roll back around. So I'm gonna throw you at the beginning of round 2 and at the end of round 2, so you get you get 2 shots too. So, but coming up next, we've got my spiritual guidance, my brother from across the pond here. I know everyone knows and loves this man. He always brings so much beauty and light to this space. And open minds wouldn't be open minds without this man. He's here every Friday, and I just appreciate it so much, man. Look at that smile. Like, how could you not love that smile? Look at that smile. Yeah. So, Lantern Carrier, if you could bless us with some words, I would appreciate it, brother.
Thank you. My salutations to you and your lovely wife. My very special salutations to the headliner, Dee Allen, my very dear friend, and I'm working on one of his books at the moment. He has many books. My salutations to the great and illustrious Paul Skiff, an elemental from the New Yorkian Cafe, as well as all my poet families. We lie together in the sanctity of dawn, the seeds of an autumnal season blossoming in my soul. You lift my emotions with the reverence of love as I emerge in silence, whispering praises to your elegance. I have experienced the tower of forces, dance in the wind with the breath of breaths. Now that you lie beside me, what else can be more meaningful and eternal? Only the sacred stillness knows the boon of this intimacy when the flames of your luster lingers in the sanctum of my heart. I have nursed this yearning for many moons, knowing that you treasured my advances, accepted readily that like the sun and its eclipse, it was only a matter of time before we kissed. Last night I brought you tulips, and you, determined to reciprocate my inner hunger, adorned my soul most tenderly with a bouquet of roses. In the serenity of stars our affection flowed, my core resonating on memories of long ago when we were one. We were original, pristinely at ease in spontaneous synergy, going with the flow of awe and wonder. We rode the breeze, the wind laughing in ecstatic joy, filled with the melody of oneness, like a sitar and its strands, blending in musical fusion. Your smile garlanded my spirit, and even as your sweet gaze sang melodies within, I heard the drums of heaven beating as my heart's butterflies soared, flapping their wings with immensity. Now it is morn and the memories of night still linger, you and I in unspoken delight, closer than the closest, or rhapsody of passion, a timeless melodious lute. Aye, sweet Shyama, can you feel the sparrow's joy and the harmony of nightingales? They are both carrying the messages of love amidst an emblazoned daybreak, not easily forgotten, because it carries the redolence of our night, one spent so bewilderingly divine. I look at your cheeks, flushed with magnificence, a silhouette more grandiose than 1,000 Helens, bedecked in gold and silk. With you here, my heart is overrun by tender affections. I hear the notes of starlings as the hummingbird chants ballads of our ancestral home. My soul finds solace in the indigo sky, and I become enchanted by the lapis lazuli of the glistening moon. Yet it is your glow that I see in all these magical bewitchments. We embrace in mutual affection, alive in our paradise as time stands still, we challenging each new reality that we encounter. My favorite place is the kiss of our hearts, steadfast in the flow of unbroken bliss. More than the sun and its brilliance, and just like the drop in the ocean, I shall meld with everything. On the day I merge with you, I shall blend in every heart, on the day I blend in you, lantern carrier. Thank you.
Everyone, unmute yourself and give it up to the Great Lantern Carrier.
Oh,
Such a
my husband.
treat.
Yeah, Griot for real.
Cite that to me. Oh gosh.
Thank you,
That was
guys.
beautiful.
Beautiful.
LC, the poetic
That was
prophet.
amazing, Lantern. That was
Yes.
amazing. Like always.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
His
Don't know
pen
why.
never stops, bro. His pen
Thank
never
you for
stops.
showing up, Tabatha. Welcome to Open Minds if you've never been here before.
Oh, she been here before. She know what's up. She's actually gonna be probably featuring for us sometime in July. I'm gonna have to get it locked down with her, but I got you, girl.
Thanks, Dee.
But yeah,
Anytime.
yeah, Lantern, it's such a treat to hear from you, man. And every time you come every week with like just new stuff. Like I don't know how you do it, how you find time. Like I don't know if he just puts his intention in a pen and just sets it on the notebook and then goes to sleep and like wakes up and he got 5 poems written. Like, I don't know how
I
he
write
works
like
his magic, but
3 to 4 every day, man. It's
oh
a
my
gift,
goodness.
the inner gift.
It is, man. It just flows through you, and you truly deserve that name, the Lantern Carrier, man, guiding us, carrying that light for all of us poets, man. Like I know myself has been inspired by you, and I'm sure everyone in this room could say the same about you, brother. We just love you, and thanks for being such a good friend to me, and such me and my wife. And
You're very kind. You're very kind. You're all so beautiful. Es muy amable. Very kind.
excellent, man. We appreciate you. All right, coming up next, I love introducing them this way. The razor blade that razor blades shave with. I still can't get that out of my head, bro. I heard that shit from one of the first poems I heard from you. You spit that, and like it's just, it's such a visceral image, dude. The razor blade that razor blades shave with, and he's not lying. Like I could see that shit happening, bro. Like he goes to grab his bic in the morning, the bic's like, oh no, 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 and you're like, yeah, motherfucker. Anyways, man, CP, if you could unmute yourself and bless us with some words, brother, we'd appreciate that.
Awesome. Good to be here, everybody. Sorry I didn't catch the first set. I was doing schoolwork and I was like, D, finish this thesis statement, finish this thesis statement. Yes, I caught the second round. So shout out to all the dope poets. I actually got in the mail today my first check as an honorarium payment for being published. And it blew my mind, you know? So keep writing. Don't worry about what people say, whether you're a spoken word artist or a poet or a page poet or any of that bullshit people try to throw on you. Like, just keep writing. Somebody's gonna recognize it. So here's a piece. It's called Plato's Socrates. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. End quote. Plato. To find yourself, think for yourself. End quote. Socrates. Honorably discharged as a sergeant in the Marine Corps, I walked away with 2 rolls of medals from serving 2 tours, walked away with night terrors. I've earned all of my nightmares. I walked away with no court martials, could have easily re-enlisted, but I couldn't walk away from Michael Johnson's 2 murder trials, walked away with sufferings from survivor's guilt, survivor syndrome, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, severe depressions, hypersensitivity to loud bangs I cannot see. I suffer from hypervigilance, you see. Hypervigilance, you see, is an enhanced state of sensory sensitivity accompanied by an exaggerated intensity of behaviors whose purpose is to detect activities. So danger. Detect any and all activities from stranger danger. Hypervigilance's intensity detects any and all activity, movement, AKA. I am always at all times mind-moving, at all times always waiting for almost assholes with their Billy Badass bravado to act out of character because to protect my family. friends and mine. I will and can kill everything in the room moving. Make no mistake, I'm no Billy Badass. But best believe I will believe bullies because most of these cowards that talk loud for the crowd, whether wrong or right, won't even bust a grape in a fucking fruit fight. Wise men talk because they have something to say. Fools because they have to say something. Quote, Plato, maize breathe. Sometimes at night, I can still hear the 46s, 53s, Hueys, Cobras, and Harrier engines spooling up. It's the only reason I can't sleep without a fan close to my ear because the spinning blades make me feel like I'm at home during high tempo flight operations on the flight deck. I was the Marine Corps killer kid with the cracked halo and the weather-beaten book collection of Socrates and Plato's ponderings in my right back pocket. I am the wisest man alive. For I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. End quote. Socrates from Texas. One of my private first-class Marine stresses over a don't ask, don't tell policy that keeps him stressing over openly loving the officer in the Air Force. He fell dog tag head over boots full or the corporal who wanted to get out the Corps so bad that he took all of his uniforms out to the middle of the flight deck, rinsed them with lighter fluids, sat in the cloth, folded out chair purchased from Walmart, and with the flick of his Zippo's flint, he torched all of his Alphas, Charlies, and Camis in dress blue uniform. And to make things worse, he roasted marshmallows over their open fucking frames. Or the corporal from Louisiana who blew out his brains while his wife was still holding him. Or the lance corporal doing the Liberty ports in either Greece or Italy. He got so hammered that he scaled the wall outside of a club, back up a few steps just to take off running off the top of the roof full speed, launching himself from the roof of the club, crashing into the apartment, shattering the window in the next building, tumbling through. I can't imagine what the screams from the wife sounded like, or how many times their kid's daddy slammed the lance corporal's head against the ground until he passed out, or the staff sergeant who went down to the armory to check out his sidearm for cleaning, who loaded a magazine with rounds, placed the pistol in his mouth, and attempted to blow his brains out, only to have his government-issued pistol cocked at an awkwardly placed angle, only to blow his jaw out and not his fucking brains. Be kind. But everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. End quote. Plato. Swallowing pain, pride, and purgatory. My stomach is a chemistry set where 19 pills per day keeps PTSD, survivor's guilt, survivor syndrome, severe depressions, hypersensitivity, hypervigilance at bay. My stomach is a combination safe where I can spin 3 right pills to the right, 4 pink pills to the left, 6 more pills back to the right, then poof, there goes warfare, combat, CP maze, conflict, struggle, battle, fight. Or killer kid with the cracked halo, shooting shot glasses filled with end of the tunnel light, like passions where I found my heaven on earth's paradise, thriving on fumes, turning nothing left until I can still swerve my life back right, playing with the car wreck full deck. There's a preteen Jesus gene in the jaws of my life, easily from my Marine Corps brotherhood, y'all. For one or some to live gladly would have sacrificed my life for my friends, family, and loved ones still willing to sacrifice my life. Survivor syndrome sure ain't wrong, but it sure ain't goddamn right. I could have easily lost my life. Like, listen, Lord, I'm not always ready to put up a good fight for God's light, but I'm getting there. With every nightmare scare, I'm getting there. Forsaking aftermath, the fallout boy with no fear, for I'm an honest man's good fight. For only the dead have seen the end of war. End quote. Plato, open minds. I am still here. Thank y'all.
Hey, and we
Whoa,
so glad
whoa.
that you still here. You know you my brother, bro.
Oh my God,
So
CP
glad you're
May.
here, man.
Oh, that
Everybody
is
unmute yourself and give it up for the amazing
CP Mays,
CP Mays.
as
Incredible.
always, slay.
That
Incredible.
was dope. It was a dope poem.
Thanks for that witness.
God damn. Maze just does that.
Yeah, Skiff's got a good point too. He's like, this should be the national anthem. I agree. Where can we go to
No
vote that
joking.
in, bro?
US,
Like,
let me tell you, USAA deserve to give this man, CP Mays, a check, like they
yeah,
do all military vets.
yeah. Like, who do we petition to? Where you at? In Houston? What's the commissioner there? Who do we petition to, man? We need Charles Mays. Charles Perry, right? Like, we gonna get you hooked up, buddy.
You can't use my government name, man. I'm running from like bill collectors and student loans. You can't use my government name.
Oh, I'm gonna
Call me
edit that
White
part
Shoe
out.
Willie. Call me White Shoe Willie. That'll be good enough.
All right, White Shoe Willie. Yeah, we need White Shoe Willie to get.
Yeah, I don't care what
White Shoe
story
Willie's in
about
the
war you
house.
hear. None of it gets that real, CP. Nobody gets that real. You just go there.
Right? Yo, and it's in his blood. He wakes up and this shit just pumps through his heart, yo, and there's a reason why. What do you got? 4 or 5-time world champion of performance poem? 3, 4. 4-time world champion performance poet right here.
4-time global champion. I will never touch that.
You know what I'm saying? For
Because I don't write
performance poetry, like
I don't write to win award.
You feel it. It's there.
you
It's
do, you
real.
feel it, man. It's like lightning just comes shooting out. That's why we call him the thunder god, bro. And like lightning strike, like Thor, man. Like, yo, because I remember one point one of these fucking nights he was spitting and like he like jumped up out of his seat and was like spitting and like we all jumped up out of our seat too and was like fucking listening. It was like so intense, bro. Like he deserves that, man. 4-time world champion performance poet CP, my brother. We got to get on a freestyle session. If you got time tonight, Daniel's going to stick through. I'm going to try to get my boy in. We're going to get a little freestyle going because I'm trying to get over this writer's block. I've been stuck on a writer's block. I've been trying to freestyle a lot because I'm trying to get over this little writer's block I have. And I feel if I just spit out a bunch of dope freestyles that, I'll be able to pick up the poetry again. Anyways, we're going to keep this thing rolling. On deck, we got the second feature set from Dee Allen. But coming up next, we got Dane, and I want to personally thank you for coming through the Open Minds again, brother. You know I love you. I love your work. We usually meet up at a different place, and I'm so glad that you've been coming to my platform the last couple of weeks and stuff. And I just got no but love and respect for you, man. So everybody give it up for Dane Ince.
Yes, go ahead.
All right. Well, I was going to do something, but then I thought I was going to do something else. And then, so maybe I will just go back. Wait, hold on a second here. Maybe I can find it because, yeah, let's see.
Did you get inspired here tonight? Because that's what we
I
all
don't know
about
if
is
it's, I don't know
inspiring
if it's
different poems.
inspiration or not. I'm going to let that go. I will bring the temperature down. That's what I'll do. If I can get to the poem. Hold on, there it is. Ha! It's right on my desktop, right where I left it. Threnode for a Raven. This rhapsodic ode to the comedy of humanity is a threnody for Neomosony, who has left me in agony. This rhapsodic ode to the comedy of humanity reminds me of the day you lied and left me and became a person now dead to me. This rhapsodic ode to the comedy of humanity is a theodicy to Neomosony. I can't even say the words. Next piece, Yountville. I went to Yountville once. Fancy hotels and restaurants. Closely I looked, saw the people who worked, did all the work. They do not roll by in fancy cars. They work hard, dance when winter hills are alive, green, rain-filled, bright to neon, under blue stone, storm gray clouds. They are art, love, heart. Thank you.
Yeah, dang. That was beautiful, man. I appreciate you showing up to Open Minds Over Mike. Everybody unmute yourself and give it up for Dane.
Always great to hear you, Dane.
Yeah.
Good work.
Dane, Dane.
Come on, Dane.
Yeah, Dane. Excellent. Excellent work.
Soon becoming one of my favorite poems, man. Yeah, that line Lantern Care, that this rhapsodic ode to the comedy of humanity. That was deep, man. That was dope. All right, so yeah, that's gonna be. We have two other people that gonna start off round two that showed up later, but we gonna get to our second half of the feature here. We got our man Dee Allen. He crushed the first set. We excited about this next set. Let's just all take a moment to unmute and hype him up, Mr. Dee Allen.
Dee.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Bring that energy up. You know what to do. Come on.
I will.
Schoolwork for this. I'm missing schoolwork for this. Give it to me.
I will. Part two begins here. Big business intends to make the earth theirs. Plans. Everybody's got plans to be prosperous and stay prosperous. Everybody's got plans to take more than they rather give. Everybody's got plans to own more than anybody should. Everybody's got plans, especially if everybody wears a suit daily, makes 7 figures yearly, and already occupies the 1%. Everybody's got plans to get richer no matter who or what they hurt, and local laws and tariffs in certain countries hurts day plans. Everybody's got plans to force pry a loophole open. Everybody's got plans to meet somewhere distant and secret. Public access and comment are denied from passing through the shut boardroom door. Arguments between companies, trade ministers over tentative plans to take privacy, neutrality, and freedom away from the electronic frontier. We're on the electronic frontier right now, just using Zoom. Drive the cost of our medicines higher, drive our wages lower, outsource work to union-crushing, child-enslaving, sea-polluting nations, send contaminated, unlabeled fish to our shores and other shores, sue governments and foreign courts over estimated money they might have made, give strong copyright protections to corporate creations like Mickey Mouse, for example. Self-produced labors of love and culture be damned. Everybody's got definite plans to widen the class divide. No more middle ground, workers' pay cut. Everybody's got surefire plans, similar to plans they've tried before. WTO, NAFTA, FTAA, CAFTA, G7, G8, G20. Sound familiar? Everybody's got serious plans to remake Earth, enhance their stock portfolios. It's a sad day in California when the suits over here sign on to the fast track to rewriting life, a move most expected from Georgia and Texas. Everybody's got ironclad plans they could benefit from. Which plans? They concern 12 industrial nations in the Pacific Rim. America takes the lead, 6 more on in. America's aggressive will prods the rest. 21st century diplomatic piracy by corporate execs. may foe us since they ignore us, rearranging the rules of life. Their international partnership spells out our future's strife. Hundreds paid, billions broke. Yeah, those plans. Hold up, y'all. At least one pick is missing, and I just found it. Plastic Isle, Pachamama, Mother Earth, unleashes her scream for help straight from the Pacific Ocean, where warm Pacific water meets cooler Arctic water, slowly churning around and around and around and around, pulling into the strong current, sailing debris, disposed atoms, mostly polymers, mostly trapped plastic, into the vortex. The artificial center surprisingly will hold and stay afloat for time indefinite, growing to a larger size infinite. The Mo City's refuse floats from 3 separate coasts: Hong Kong, Japan, Hawaii. Taught to swim down fetid sewers, eventually reaching the greater ocean. Seagulls get peckish feeling in flight, spot colored wire, torn trash bags, mistaken for squirming food. Plastic Isle that should not be, a testament to wastefulness, adrift at sea.
Yo, hold on. I gotta pause you right there for a second, cause yo, that shit is crazy. That garbage island that's out in the middle of the Pacific, and like he mentioned with the seagulls finding color wires and stuff, like they die because they eat just a bunch of plastic that's washed up on shore.
Exactly.
And that's one of the saddest fucking things to know, that our trash is out there just, you know.
That's the worst form of water pollution I can think of.
Yeah, it's literally like 100 square miles of just, and it's not even the big bits of plastic, it's the microplastics that have broken down and that the fish don't even know they're eating, that end up blocking up their systems and killing them. Like, it's sad, man. But yeah, I'll let you keep going. That one hit me heavy in my heart because I care a lot about the ocean. Man.
I do too. I'm concerned about the environment as well as what goes on in the city. Always have my whole life. And that includes our ocean dwelling relatives, the fish, no matter what species. Based on actual events, this is called rumination. It's so funny how water went from being something you drink to being something you protect, like personal valuables. It's equally funny, but not so, how petrol went from being something that stays in the ground indefinitely, like ivory, like ebony minerals, like obsidian, to being something that corporations desperately need, like a bankhead, basehead needs crack, feeding their strong addiction, the worst chemical dependency, running their access pipeline and plans through Dakota, Indian sacred lands, like heroin tapping a vein, but bound to drain what peak oil remains. Thus far, traditional native lands have turned into the Hunger Games, the Running Man, in real time featuring hardcore military players. Many have been shot, tackled, thrown about, gassed, rounded up, locked up for taking a stand. Willing to connect with people who are standing tall at the river for the rock. Mani Wachoni, water is life. And speaking of water being life, this next poem, only 4 lines long, that's called a quatrain, y'all. This is called Thirst. Did you ever wonder how our planet's end may come? By warming or by freezing? The warming arrives first. As the Golden State continues to desiccate, people scramble for sun, water, any amount, to moisten their throats, remove their thirst. And let me do that for a moment. We are made of 60% water, but we still need to drink plenty of it in order to survive. And on a positive note, from drought to rainfall, this is called nourishment. Taking nourishment from the vapor from the sky, from the clouds hovering high, giving nourishment to the gardens, to the streets, to all men, to all beasts, taking nourishment from the storms, from the drains, moistening lands, driest plains, giving nourishment to the streams, to the lakes, to the grass, all it takes. The drought, persistent crisis through winter to state maintained, taking vital nourishment from the frigid, fleeting rain. I got 2 more poems for y'all. Actually 3. This is the state bird of California, y'all. And I'm about to tell you a little bit about him in a moment. This is called Night Eagle. Dusk hides nothing from the night eagle, himself hidden in the trees. With feathers and wings of sandy hue, bulbous eyes as black as his native grove. Nyctophilian bird watches the wildness in deep darkness, observes change in season, in weather and seasons. From the hollows of oaks, broad branches of redwoods, not a thing escapes his careful, penetrating gaze under the stars. Red men claim the night eagle is the spirit of one of their departed, brought back to earth in avian form, protective, insightful, wiser than he was in life. He gives a sharp chorus of hoots, spreads his wings and flies after intruders on the ground, chasing those field rats back to holes within nightly abyss. Before the slow coming of day, the night eagle, watcher of the woods, wings of sandy hue, black eyes, is my spirit animal, according to a spinning color wheel on an iPad, on a table, under a tent, a pretty blonde park ranger directed me to. During the stand for the Redwoods Festival, Yerba Buena Gardens, SF. Color wheel rotated clockwise by the touch of index finger on screen, then slowed in pace. Right side arrow landed on yellow. Northern spotted owl. I don't believe in this spirit animal nonsense at all, but the traits the fabled night eagle has, vigilance, insight, wisdom, lie in me nonetheless. And the next poem I'm about to do, I'm gonna take a break from share screen for a moment and do this other one. A little persona piece called Promises Over Promises. A day in the mind of a corporate CEO. Dear friends, we've known each other for quite a while, for years, perhaps decades. During that time, our company has been the first name bringing you high quality products and services. Ours was a name you can trust. And somewhere along the way in doing both, we've made a few mistakes, such as sullying the waterways with oil spills, leaving rubbish on any land post-project, adopting fracking as a resource-getting tactic. But let's not dwell on the past. Let's focus on the future. As part of our new commitment, our new sense of commitment and damage control, our company resolves to do more for our delicate, finite planet and you and our stockholders because we care about avoiding costly lawsuits, and the less public outcry, the better. We have the power to make the healing of where we live happen. We'll build garbage trucks that run on natural gas. We'll build new homes, all electric, no gas lines. We'll manufacture European-style cars that run on clean burning diesel, granted that they don't belch smoke past the initial test. We'll make colas sweetened with stevia, loaded into plant-based bottles using less plastic. We'll provide drinking water to victims of natural disasters at 4 times the normal price. We'll set up rows of solar-powered electric rental bikes so you can ride around the city and spare the air, like that car company from Michigan. You know the one. And pretty soon you'll learn to forget how air quality and human lungs were ruined for over a century. And hey, we'll even have our executives' fingers paint themselves green, head to toe, and those hard to reach crevices live on camera to show you how dead serious as fuck we are in our environmental endeavors. See the evergreen forest and deep blue sky photos on our website. See the wide ocean and the lush green pasture images on our ads. See? We want clean air, clean soil, clean water as much as you do. And all this natural splendor can be yours if you just believe in the company line, lock, stock, and thick cock, and pay up today.
Everybody mute and give it up for Dee Allen.
Yeah,
Dee,
Dee, yeah,
great.
wow.
Wow.
That was a great piece.
And
Another great set.
now I'm about to activate the share screen feature one more time.
Yeah.
Let me pull up a couple of things to show on it. I'm going to close part 2 of my set out on a more positive and healing tip, or try to anyway. Fire. The way back to secure begins with gathering dry logs, butane and grill lighter. Build a pile of wood inside a metal pit. Bathe the logs in butane. Touch of a grill lighter's wick starts the flaming birth of your perfect pyre. Once the pyre gains strength, size, strength, warmth, take an ink pen, tear a sheet of paper into little scraps. Write down your fears upon each bare scrap. Cast your soul-chewing phobias into the pyre. They deserve to burn. Courage in facing the unknown stands as a viable replacement. And that poem was called Pyre. And each of the poems that I've done tonight come from 2 books. From part 1, the poems came from my 6th book, Rusty Gallows, Passages Against Hate, from Vagabond Books, and my 7th book, Plans, from Nomadic Press. Both of them came out last year at the same time, not just in the same year, but the same month and same week, first week of February, 2022. Rusty Gallows came out on February 1st, 2022, and Plans came along and premiered 5 days later.
Hey, make sure you post those links so we can all purchase your books, man, and support you. Anything you want to post, go ahead and post some links up in there, because we all want to show you love and support, man.
I will. And your mic sounds staticky right now. Just saying. From this mic to your ears, I'm Dee Allen. Thanks for listening.
All right, thank you so much, Dee Allen. Is my mic still sounding kind of funky?
Your
Is it
mic
okay?
sounds good now.
It's good
Yeah,
now?
it
Okay.
sounds good. It
All
sounds
right, I was
good
having
now.
a little issues with it. Merilee thankfully pointed out earlier that I was a little hard to hear, but I think I got a position right. I think we're going good. Yeah, that ends up the second set from Dee Allen. Let's all just one more time unmute and give it up for Dee Allen.
Yeah, Dee, that was so
Yeah,
wonderful.
gee, so good.
Great feature.
Appreciate you,
Great
Dee Allen, man, for real, for all that you do, for all the work that you put in, man, for real. It comes through in every single book that you publish, man. For real.
Definitely, y'all make sure you pick up them books, man, and show support to this man, yo, because he's out there doing it.
Yeah, we need people like him. We need
Yeah,
people like him.
we do. We need that. Kristi's out of here too. Goodbye, Scribs. All right, so we got this round 2 coming up, and since we had Robert show up a little late and Daniel show up a little late, they're gonna start round 2, but then they're gonna close us off in round 2, so they both get their 2 rounds in. So without further ado, I made you co-host so you can share screen if you wish. Coming up next, we got Robert Fleming, and then on deck, Daniel Fernandez.
Good evening. I'm Robert Fleming, a writer and graphic artist from Delaware. There are currently 2 literary magazines who are giving artists an opportunity to respond to fascism in the United States. The first one is Dumpster Fire Press is having an issue called Police State. And there's another magazine called Unlikely Stories Mark V, which is having a theme called Fascism, which is in response to the governor in Florida. So I'm going to share some of my upcoming submissions for the fascism response. This is the first one. The fascism this is called The Right to Read. In 1971, the Brady Bunch maintains its family rating. In 1971, the book The Exorcist was published, and my mother would not let me read it. So I read the whole book in the bathroom. So that was the inspiration for this piece. The little girl on the left is Cindy. She was the second replacement for the youngest girl on the show. And her claim to fame was she was a snoop. So she would say, "Mama, can I come in?" And Mama Brady would say, "Cindy, Mama's busy," because she's reading The Exorcist and can't let anybody know about it. The next one is also called Right to Read. And The Godfather was published in the early 1970s. And I was a pre-adolescent at the time. My cousin Mark was 1 year older than me. He used to call me, and his father also had a copy of the book, The Godfather, and he used to tell me what page the sex scenes were on. So The Godfather was the book that my father would not let me read. So I also read The Godfather in the bathroom. And one of the most famous sex scenes is when Sonny fucks one of the brides to be at a wedding at the beginning of the movie. The third is called The Right to Porn. I grew up in the city of Montreal, And there was a triple X theater called the Pussycat. In the 1970s, we only had rotary phones, and the Pussycat had an audio recording of all the movies that were playing at the theater. And I used to, every week, used to call them with my other cousin, Mark. And I remember calling the Pussycat and hearing the description of Deep Throat, which was a doctor discovers that a woman's clitoris is located in her throat. So this is called the right to porn. And I'll put those two literary magazines in the chat. And I'd like for people to celebrate with me a big accomplishment I had today as a writer. I was published in 3 literary magazines and 16 pieces. It was the first time I had so much published on the same day. And greetings from Delaware.
Yo, you heard the man. Everyone unmute and give it up and let's celebrate that. What an accomplishment to be so published on one day. Robert, you deserve
Congratulations,
it,
Robert.
man. Congratulations, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah,
congratulations.
that's so awesome, man. That's so awesome. All right, so we're gonna keep this thing moving. We got our other latecomer, Daniel Fernandez. He and I are gonna be working on a collab, I think, coming up soon. So stay tuned for that. I hope you're feeling better, not so nasally today, and you know, even if you're not, we're still gonna enjoy it. So yeah, if you could unmute and bless us with some words, brother, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, my nose is still the way it is, but it is what it is. We keep it going. So I have, for today, I will do a poem that is split into 2 parts, a full story, like from both sides. And for those that knew you, probably heard this before, it's Transparent Lives, with the couple arguing with the 13-year-old daughter. So I have that story told from part 1, the father's perspective, and part 2, the mother's perspective. So I'll just do part 1 for now and then save the other one for later. It's called Transparent Lives. Fuck, I am stuck within the loop, a Ferris wheel of blame for not expressing the truth, a foot on thorns while biting the forbidden fruit, oblivious to the pain like a kid with cartoons, broke and ashamed, assuming I can work my way out of it. Doesn't do shit and the stress is getting me sick. When a dream fades, the thoughts flourish. You hate yourself in ways you never expected. Managing money as if I know how. Investing in the future became impossible now. Playing catch up with debt collectors on my ass. 2 steps forward just to move 5 steps back. A recession worse than 1929. Fucking depressed from being so far behind. I got a wife to support and a kid to provide. A soul fetching for acceptance while patience has died. Running low on fuel to stretch $40 for the week. Starve for a couple of days, denying poverty. Being so naive to reality. Had to beg God, but you can't pray for money. Jane, my love, I gotta talk to you. I've been struggling to pay for shit I can't refuse. Mortgages next week and I know you're tight, but need the assistance to smite the constrite. Really? You're asking me now? Can't afford groceries, my wallet doesn't allow. I noticed you're distant because you don't fucking speak. I am your wife and you just ignore me. No, I don't. I just don't want you to worry. Bullshit. You pay for things assuming you can handle it. Well, yeah, for the most part, I have enough to pay, food to buy and life to maintain. Wake the fuck up. You got a daughter, you know. She's growing faster than chives on a good day's glow. Pull out of your stocks, but oh, that's right. You lost it all and claim with time, things will reunite. You don't have enough for this roof, now what? Assumed you knew the secret, but fucked us, didn't you? I get it. Fuck, chill, can you? Clouds of judgment does come with their issues. Take a second to watch life from my view. Regret follows me around like a tattoo. Oh, sorry, big man, as if I don't suffer too. I clean houses, motherfucker, something you don't do. Use what I gained for our child, clothes and toys. Their emotions come first, a life you can't avoid. Working as a mechanic, I know it's tough. Understand you are stressed when things are rough. Sold a bunch of what we had to pass by. We fight ourselves to live transparent lives. Don't start your shit playing possum. Damn it, Jane, close your mouth for once. I get it. You got shit on your plate. Complain about the rain, but you indoors anyways. Thank you for the clothes and toys. Cleaning houses for the money we stretch to enjoy. But I got this boulder of stress that's above my head. Scared about the future, afraid to spend. I put my soul into trying to satisfy you right. Speak in ways my hand can't write. A check of love my thoughts can't sign. Ignore the mistakes while you count mine. Okay, bitch, go look for a place to work then. You figure shit out like those days we paid rent. Watch me pack my shit and surprise you like a present by walking the fuck out of your life like a boring event. Take our child and raise her right. To survive a cold world, you gotta manually ignite. You know it all, don't you? Had jobs before, the idea isn't new. Should have managed your shit a little better. Focus on bills instead of whatever. Now you lost, looking at me for pleasure. Use me as leverage with my bank as a method of measure. I'm asleep in the living room, fuck you. Go, keep stacking my problems as an excuse. Blame me for everything despite the mental abuse. I'm done with the fighting and being rude. Can't even sleep well, rotate the neck. Take my time with it like singing the alphabet. Couch for today doesn't seem like it can do any harm. The couch gets comfy with sheets from Raymond. Noted, I know where they're at. Getting hit in the head with a blanket I wasn't informed to catch. Living and annoyed, I turned just to watch her laugh. Fucking life of mine, then proceeded to tramp away like a cat, laying the sheets nice and flat, to then fall into the settee without destroying my back. Annoyed at the time, so I wasn't thinking about the impact. Patience was lost and kindness was sapped. Fuck, now what? My eyes don't close. Covered in yellow like an egg roll. An ocean filled with dismal. My heart is open while the devil attacks my lobes. Gotta try shit out and make a profit. Do night shifts and reel in some tips. Become a taxi driver or chauffeur. I can't. Tell her my wife would deprive her. Drowning myself in shallow water. Inhale the pain with a hard cider. I try to keep my life within a binder, which didn't work since the company transferred. Invest in my savings and became a mechanic. For the most part, success was equipped. Years passed and still following the script. Yet I didn't realize the bears shot down my battleship. The couch started to feel confined. My wife was indignant as her patient's demise. Love is evil and always in disguise, but the feeling became a series you can't rewind. Time punched me in the face. It became slow and out of pace. It looked into my eyes and demanded me to wait, still wondering why since there hasn't been an update. My daughter is 13 and I hope she understands. I try my best, but the proof isn't in my hands. I thought about buying property and letting the wealth expand. The markets crashed and I was scammed. The system sucks, man, but I'll find a way. Shoot karma where it hurts and let the blood remain. Should have known, but that's life. We dive into situations assuming the outcome is right. Love you both. I know it's hard to show. I work until my boss can promote. I fucked up, that I know, but the intention isn't wrong. The timing provoked. The love is genuine when the soul can devote. The situation made it seem like a joke. I took a pull to let the mind drift. Cry my eyes out until the idea doesn't exist. Wait and ponder before my body can notice. Falling asleep so that tomorrow I can begin to fix shit. Thank you.
Yo, thanks, Daniel. Hey, bars on bars on bars, man. I'm excited for after the show. You and I are gonna stick around and do some freestyle and come up with our little collab ideas,
Daniel,
man.
impressive wordplay. Keep coming back, bro.
Yeah, he got so much bars, man. Like,
Thank you.
he got just a
Appreciate it.
closet with just bars stacked up in there, man. Like, hey, we appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a quick little piece. So that was the end of round one. We're gonna loop back around to the beginning. Oh, Generalissimo came back. I gotta throw him back in the list there. All right, so I'm gonna do a little quick one, and it's just 'cause I'm sure some of y'all heard this before, but you know, it's been a while since I said it, and I feel like I just need to say it again 'cause like it's just been so wonderful, everyone showing up here. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and repost that with Generalissimo back in the list. Bada bing, coming up next, Principe, Merilee. Okay. So I just want to say thanks, fam. I just want to say the day I decided to create this space, I was looking for a safe place for me to find my voice and vent. Little did I know it would make a dent in this community. Gained poetic immunity. It's insane all the people who flew to me. You all seriously grew on me. Open minds, open arms. Y'all showed me so much love, made me feel I could do no harm. It revitalized my soul, gave me purpose. The first show I did, I was so fucking nervous. By week 3, seeing what it became to be, a beautiful zoo full of creative creatures, off the leash with the dopest features. It blew my mind on how over time the amazing poets stood up in line just to share love and rhyme. I really need to get this off my chest. Being around all of you, I truly feel blessed. So from the very bottom of my heart, thank you all for shining light in my dark.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
That was lovely, Thomas.
We love you too, Thomas. Never
Beautiful
forget
piece.
that.
Right back at you, Thomas. Yeah.
I appreciate that, y'all. I really do, man. This wouldn't be, this wouldn't be anything without all of y'all. So I thank you guys, for coming through week and week and just sharing amazing poetry. Like, I love this Open Minds family that we got here, and just, I could, like, I did not expect it to turn out this way, and just so happens, like, it's an amazing space, yo, and I really appreciate y'all for showing up each week. So let's keep this show going. Coming up next, we got Principe for round 2. Principe, if you can unmute yourself and bless us with some words, we would appreciate it.
This poem is called The Ending. Since the beginning, we lived on stone land. The indigenous never expected to be crushed by the white bull. They were surprised by the white bulls. Their kindness was taken for granted. More people came to build the white bull's riches. Never did they get their proper respect. In retrospect, they endured in the ensuring years. Still, we are all dealing with the same old things. Today, politicians are rookery with the words, is there an end in sight? Thank you. My piece right there.
Yeah, everybody unmute and give it up for Principe. The end. Bro, that was deep, man. That was
Thank you,
beautiful.
Principe.
Well,
I don't know how to say your name. How do you say your first name?
Principe.
Principe.
Sorry.
Principe, nice anti-colonial piece. Thank you so much for sharing that.
That was dope. That was dope. All right, so let's keep rolling with round 2. So coming up next, we got Merilee Johnson. If you could unmute yourself and bless us with some words, we would appreciate it.
Okay. See, I guess I am unmuted. Okay. I'm going to start out with 3 pancus, which is a 9-word form, the way I use the short one.
Shout out to Deadpan for that.
Yes, thank you. Familiar bird call. Red-winged blackbird moves its beak in song. Fresh garden peas, milk straight from the cow, great aunt's farm. If roses can bloom on barbed wire, there's hope. And I'll end with another poem. I did this to a 30-30 poetry group prompt, and the prompt was Landscape of Unintended Memory. I saw a photo of the Catskills today and remembered you and I with your parents that weekend, she snipping fresh herbs growing by their pool to make an incredible supper, while we played in the water, her preference. A horse show jumping competition, a first for former horse lover me. I still have a souvenir cup, now cracked and unusable. A bike ride, you caught your pants in the bike chain and fell in the driveway before we even began, leaving me and your stepmom to pedal on. An exhausting 3-hour drive through the Catskills, marked by a brief hike to a waterfall, your stepmom and I, your stepmom, my age, and I, you with foot injury and your dad, older, stayed in the car, and topped off by choosing veggies at the farmer's market. All of us sitting in their lovely living room after supper, giggling at the bird cage. You and I jamming, you on synth and me on flute, impressing your parents. You and I cuddling in a cozy bedroom, looking out the window at lush scenery, walking the small town streets and popping into an art gallery, your dad keeping up very well due to his regular exercise, even in his 80s. Your stepmom taking us back to the bus that would return us to New York and city life once again. Even without you now, I still remember this fondly. Those were the fun times. Thank you.
Those were the fun times. Everybody on mute and give it up for Merilee Johnson.
Merilee, yeah.
Yes, love it.
Those were the fun times.
Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Always amazing to hear from you. Thank you for coming through tonight and sharing your words with us. We appreciate you. Coming up next, we got the Magus Gustav Salas. If you could share some words with us, brother, we'd appreciate it.
Indeed, I can. This was done for New Eurekan Poets. Was it last week? Yeah. Loyalty Sangre prompt. This is called My Dinner with Sangre. Dinner with my sister and friends last night. Steaks on the grill cooked to perfection with portobello garlic onion sauce, a baked potato, and peas. My sister told the story how she was a loyal blood donor to the Red Cross of Philadelphia and that they paid her $350 for giving blood. Some of that money is what paid for the expensive 1 pound top sirloin steaks we were enjoying. She literally shed blood for the meal we were consuming with such delight. Give blood, give blood, give blood. Over dinner, we discussed many things. Our host had recently lost his job and his girlfriend. He mused at length on the value of loyalty through trials and tribulations. As many conversations do in this troubled country, the discussion turned to mass shootings, specifically the most recent mass shooting in Cleveland, Texas, that resulted in 5 deaths, including one 8-year-old child. Sangre, sangre, sangre. 2 female victims were discovered in the bedroom lying on top of 2 surviving children. Now that is loyalty. Who would you act as a human shield for? Who would you protect with your life? Sangre, sangre, sangre. You are my blood. To you I am loyal forever. I mean with no buts, ifs, and no however. I'll not let you down, and by this I mean never. We have a bond impossible to sever. Sangre, sangre, sangre. Thank you.
Yeah, everybody unmute and give it up for Gustav.
It's a powerful piece. I
Sangre,
really like that
sangre.
one.
That was nice. Yes, very good. Very good.
All right, I had moved him off the list because he disappeared for a minute, but he's back. The Generalissimo, Brian Franco. If you could unmute yourself and bless us with some words, brother.
Thank you. I'm sorry, my internet has been very spotty lately, and it kind of kicked me off. And so I'm going to go ahead. I actually wrote this from the beginning of this open mic. I forgot whose poem.
Wet paint. That's like super wet paint right there. That's
I
he loves
forgot
that.
who poem spurred this one on. But so let me go ahead and read this to you and see what you think. As a young ukulele, I believed I could grow up to be a 12-string classical guitar. I longed to be played in the courtyard at the Guggenheim in Bilbao, Spain. As a teenager, I decided I could be a 6-stringer owned by a folk singer who dabbles in the blues. I had heard how good it feels when a singer slides a metal tube over his fingers and makes your strings orgasm. But alas, I never experienced a growth spurt. My owner, who only played me for his family in Hawaii, gave me to his surfer son, who took me with him as he surfed his way around the globe. The tattooed boy has tattooed me with stickers from everywhere he surfed, as if the stickers are stamps on my passport. Then one day he got hurt and could no longer surf. He spent the rest of his life in a wheelchair. He traveled the world with me in his hands as he sang songs that were born of the waves he rode. He never bought another uke or a guitar with more strings. He said to do so would be to abandon his father's soul that existed in my frets. Though he fell in love more than once, he never married or had kids. He believed his mission in life was to spread the love and humanity he inherited from his father. When I was a boy, I was a gift to a teenage boy who listened to folk and blues and Spanish classical guitar music. Though he would play me and sing to girls he loved and to his wife and child, I always thought he longed for more strings, but he never replaced me. And when he taught his boy how to play me, he said I was his prized possession and told his boy to never take me for granted. And while I traveled the world with him, he often talked to me as if I were his dad. He cried over many broken hearts as he strummed me. He never took me for granted, just like his dad. And now I live in a glass case in the Smithsonian, having lived a truly wonderful life. And I'm happy to have only lived life with the strings that I was born with.
Yeah, Generalissimo, everyone unmute and give it up.
How amazing that you could write that beautiful piece and during this open mic. That's amazing.
Right? Yeah, Merilee, that's right.
I always love that when people are like, "Oh, I wrote this during the show," and it's like some amazing piece, and it's like,
Whoa.
so cool, man, so cool. Yeah, we're gonna keep this thing rolling on. So, coming up next, we got I want y'all to unmute for a moment and just recite after me. Encore, 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 encore,
Encore,
encore,
encore,
encore, encore, encore.
No.
Back, y'all.
You encoring me or you encoring D?
We encore and D. I mean, we'd love to hear more from you too, but
I want to hear
D.
D. I want.
Yeah.
Oh, that does not sound right.
Thank
But
you. Thank
I'd
you,
like to be
Thomas.
Allen, that's it.
Thank you, Thomas. And because y'all asked for it, I'm only going to do one last poem before I'm out. And I'm going to use the share screen feature one more time. From Written Tales Magazine Online. This poem is called Overcome, a free verse poem. Try as devils might to change the look of the big picture, passing itself off as democracy, they can't remove us all. For the longest time, they have used abandonment, brutality, criminalization, displacement, enslavement, force-fed false history, gentrification, harassment, intoxication, jokes told, spite in disguise, Ku Klux Flaming Cross night rides, lust towards our girls and women, mass murder, negation of our views, or police intimidation, Queen's African beauty devalued, religion, Christianity passed down by pilgrims, sterilization, terrorism, unity broken, vicious discrimination, white imperialism, X out our credit for our contributions, youth killed before age 25, Z, the last letter, last considered, first targeted. All the tricks implemented on us, and yet our people are still mating, our women are still breeding, our people are still here. Our culture is still here. We have overcome endeavors by devils to whittle our number to nothing. We have overcome. It's been a long, arduous walk on the road to progress, reacting to muscle memory, hurtling over obstacles we didn't design over time. We look forward to thriving in the next 400 years and what they may bring. We look forward to days of joy, seeking pleasure we deserve, not to forget about oppression, but to surmount oppression before it regains ground to conquer spirit. By having the best times of our lives, be loud, be lively, be talented, because they can't silence us all. We have overcome, and whenever possible, we'll do it again. That poem was called Overcome. For Raul James, Lantern Carrier, Safongo Zoncanto, Elemental, Midnight Rose Gold, Stacey Artist Dyson, and English protest poet Zeta Holoborn.
Wow.
Overcome.
It's
Beautiful,
amazing.
man.
I'm
I love the
overcome by
A,
your
B,
poem.
C. Yeah, I love the alphabet verse you had in there where you went down through the alphabet and just crushed it, man. So talented. D, I want to thank you again from the bottom of my heart, yo. Thank you for this feature.
Anytime, bro.
We all missed you. We all love you. Let's all unmute and
Thank
give it up for Dee Allen
you.
one more time, man.
Great,
Thank
Dee.
you.
Wonderful work.
Righteous.
Beautiful.
Thank you all so much for showing up for this feature tonight. From this
Well-
mic to your ears, I'm Dee Allen. Thanks for listening, and the Whisper Poet has just entered the waiting room.
Yeah, definitely. Yo, thank you so much for that, man. All right, so Whisper Poet, welcome. You missed out on the features and the encore, but we still have a few other people spitting if you'd like to get in the mix here. And then we're gonna do a freestyle after hours. So if you'd like, I added you to the end of the list. And yeah, coming up next, we've got the marvelous, my brother, my spiritual guidance, my poetry inspiration, the great lantern carrier. If you could read us some words, we would appreciate that, my brother.
That was very, very quick. When a 22-year-old inauguration poet goes viral in 10 minutes, it tells me that wherever I am in the world arena, I'm in need of the light her spirit offers. Some leaders are just tiny parts of a much larger problem, the dearth of the soul. Amanda's strength is that she angles the darkness into the citadel of cosmic light. I offer myself to my beloved, and the whole universe works with me. I know that where my treasure lies, there will my heart be also. The heart, the heart. For me, nothing else matters. I follow the call of this bodily temple, transform myself in amazing ways. A cascade of beauty follows my path like rose pink leaves, a fragrance to sojourners walking the Tao. I burn in its alchemy on a path paved with challenges. My desires, greed, attachments are naught but the beloved's labyrinth to find my way home. For a slow student, the good teacher repeats each lesson again and again. Whenever my queen embraces me, she removes worn strands from my blueprint of memories. I ascend on the flame of a phoenix, moving in spirals like a snake, shaped like malleable clay in the hands of my weaver. I attune to the moon and twinkling stars. I soar upwards as Orion dances, preparing a banquet for emperors and queens. I, who was lost in turbulent waters, now turn my gaze to welcome the show. I sail on a vista of new horizons, away from sad songs of supremacy, adorned by the lyrics of magical psalms, cascading the rays to the harp of my soul. I know from the sad tale of Pharisees that the mind's brilliance is no match for the unspoken radiance of the heart. So I speak not of my obvious inequities, but study the sense of fragrant flowers. It is the myriad notes in an orchestra that blends the music together, like the silent awe in a poem sublime. It is love which gives me the sting of thorns to transform me into roses. Any erroneous leadership eventually lead to a brighter sunshine. Stars waltz on the darkness, so hearts may rejoice. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
Thank you for that, Lantern Carrier. It's
Lantern
always such a
Carrier.
pleasure here.
Big shout
Everybody
out to
unmute.
Youth Poet Laureate Amanda Gordon, American
Thank you
Youth
so
Poet
much.
Laureate.
Oh my
Beautiful
God.
lantern.
Yeah,
Thank
hearts
you, thank
rejoice
you.
at your poetry, Lantern Carrier. Hearts rejoice.
Always,
Yeah.
always.
May
Thank
our
you so
weekend.
much.
And
Yeah,
it's Mother's Day weekend, so
yeah. Thank you so much for that.
thank you.
So yeah, coming up next we got Robert Fleming. If you want to unmute yourself, share screen, do what you gotta do, and yeah, you're up next. Let's all give it up for Robert Fleming.
Good evening. I'm Robert Fleming, a writer and graphic artist from Delaware. My first graphic piece is a tribute to a television game show, which was very successful in the 1970s called Hollywood Squares. Does anybody remember that show? Cool, okay.
Yeah. Yes. Definitely.
You talking about Charles Nelson Riley and Paul Lynde?
Paul Lynde was on, Hollywood Squares. Charles Nelson Riley was on Match Game. So this is called Zoom Squares. In the last few months, I've been experimenting with Zoom makeup as well as avatars. So I decided to put myself in the Zoom Squares. For an X, true or false, is there a real Robert Fleming? I'm starting to lose to know whether that's true or false. The next piece was inspired by, I recently rewatched a movie called In the Beginning, which was produced by Dino Laurence. It was produced in 1966. In the 1970s, there were a number of disaster movies, Earthquake, Towering Inferno, Poseidon Adventure. They were all produced by the same producer, Dino Laurence. So he also did In the Beginning. So I remembered again, Noah and the Flood, which is I identify with this, with that Bible story. This one is called The Promise. And this version, I gave the animals the pop color and the background the normal color. This next one, I reversed it. I gave the background the pop color, and the animals, their color is more like what their natural color would be. And this one is called The Broken Promise. And in the center is an image of an ozone hole, which I've been working with for quite a while. And then I'm trying to show that the ozone hole is breaking up the rainbow. And this is the second one. It's also using another ozone hole, but it didn't come out as well as the first one. And thank you for letting me share my memory again of the Bible story of Noah and what greetings from Delaware.
Thank you so much, Robert, man. We always we enjoy your art and your poetry. And congratulations again on your publishing accomplishments today. Like, how cool is that, man? Like, that's so dope. Everyone unmute and give it up for Robert Fleming.
Nice work, Robert. I enjoyed
Yeah,
seeing
Robert,
those.
very cool. I do remember Hollywood Squares.
Yeah,
I'm old.
I do too.
Excellent. All right. So coming up next, part two of his first piece that he read. This is from the other side of the perspective, which is so cool. And this wasn't even a real story. It was a story he made up, but like he wrote two sides to the story, right? And so it's pretty interesting hearing a young man as himself who's he's in touch with his feminine side and he loves his mama and everything, but he was able to write from the perspective of the wife in this story that he started telling us early. So here's the part two of that poem, the continuation from the other side of it. So yeah, Daniel, if you can unmute yourself and bless us with this, we'd appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, this is part two. I'm just gonna dive into straight into it. Should be possibly a little longer than the last one, actually. I had fun with this one. Finally home as I put the bag down, leaving the keys hanging about 6 feet off the ground. Tiffany isn't home yet from school. I would pick her up, but ran out of fuel. I have to fill it up a different day. I wanted to grab some groceries, but my client didn't pay. I'll stop by tomorrow and get a check. Cleaning houses isn't reliable anymore. What can I expect? No legal papers, so living is complex. My husband is working out the steps. There is never an update, and I'm dying for what's next. I can't go on like this, tired, broken, coping with sex. With my husband, of course. We have been together for a decade. After I got pregnant, the only logical move was to get engaged. Boy, what a mistake that was. The petty shit, the headaches, talk about love. A house built on a dream and a promise. Paul manages the money and tries to pay for all this. There are investments that he put together. Life was perfect, however. Paul lost his position at the office. He was laid off and became jobless. Invested the savings to make ends meet. I never supported the idea, but it worked clearly. If it works, it works. What can I say? He became a mechanic a couple weeks after to put food on our plates. I appreciate his drive, but it's not working out. Barely with his family, and when he is, he's not around. I kept us afloat for the moment. The essentials were paid from my savings. I don't know if Paul noticed. This is after the house. The mortgage became expensive and we couldn't figure it out. Tiffany doesn't pay attention. She's too young to understand. Let money flow in and see how she can manage a grand. Force responsibility, take a chore off my hands. We all learn at some point. I'll give her a chance. Speaking of the devil, I heard the front door. It could be Paul, but I didn't hear his boots torturing the floor. It's raining, unlike before. It's Tiffany, though, I rest assured. Her face lights up as I became the person she walks towards. Give a hug to calm down my emotional storm. No one else is home, at least not yet. Trapped with optimism, with no luck or pets. Paul comes in 6 hours later, upset. Moves his umbrella to then wipe off a layer of sweat. Jane, we gotta talk. You damn right you damn right we do. What's with the time? What's your excuse? It's called work. First of all, no need to start shit. I just got home and I didn't even take off my jacket. You're the one coming late. Tiffany is asleep when we both already ate. I tried to call, but you didn't respond. Well, when the phone's dead, service is long gone. Can I eat at least? I'm starving. I've been having a rough week. A transmission replacement that ended with a leak. Did a few jobs and broke a few things. Shit happens. That won't change. I try to hold hope that surviving kept me entertained. I left. Fuck that, boo-hoo. I didn't get paid, news to you. We all have bad days that can be considered abuse. We push another day to level up the strength to Zeus. We meet at the bedroom and proceed to talk. The air felt thick as it became hot. Jane, my love, I gotta talk to you. I've been struggling to pay for shit I can't refuse. Mortgage is next week and I know you're tight, but need the assistance to smite the constrite. Really? You're asking me now? I can't afford groceries my wallet doesn't allow. We argued for a while, but no one was backing down. Both points were made, complications with a spouse. If he just had his money planned out, we would be fine. Don't invest savings regardless if you have enough to provide. Times are tough and I get the intention to glorify pride. When you need the cash, that's the moment you can't find. And here I go again, talking to myself like a ventriloquist. My husband is trying to ignore me like a lousy client. It boils my blood in rage and silence. With the test I do constantly, I'm practically an appliance. I threw shade with enough to start a war. He couldn't take it anymore. Said, fuck it, I'm sleeping in the living room. You do what you please, bitch. I'm not in the mood. I took it down a notch and thought about it. Gave a suggestion, so see if he'll listen. The couch gets comfy with sheets from Raymond. Noted. I know where they're at. I threw a throw before he left out, assuming he would catch. I hit his head, but didn't mean to. It made me laugh. I won't lie. The timing was perfect too. He went out, fading into the darkness, leaving behind all the promises. Vomit a phrase that later becomes regret. Paul and his intentions left me upset. I left his ass there and took a nap. Felt lonely and went down to see if I can lay my head on his lap. Tried to apologize for having a bridge collapse. Does our love manifest a toxic atmosphere? Perhaps. If I put my ear against his chest and he was asleep, and comfort so good, no need to count sheep. My head was like a bowling ball as Paul tries to speak. He moved, his leg moved and he mumbled confusion as to why I'm here really. His elbow cracked as he tries to position himself, tried to make a point on why he needs the help, being ideal without lies as I absorb his troubles, neglecting myself, living the way I have though it's affecting my health. You're my last resort like an emergency switch. Trust me, I don't want this struggling and shit. Things happen, but understand me. I apologize for everything I did, honestly. You know that I love you and that my intention isn't wrong. Everything was perfect and then my timing was off. I tried to save enough and put money where it belongs. I just get upset for when your comments leave my emotions withdrawn. Fuck that. Always you, huh? No, never. What about me? What about how I feel and how I'm coping as as my demons intervene? How is my job or how my depression has been? Did you even notice I haven't been the same since? Please, Jane, just stop. You come here for this shit, throwing knives from your mouth until I start acting like a prick. You change me, you know? I'm usually never rude. Now I get pissed off the little shit like you do. You selfish piece of shit. Sorry, but it's true. I see that you're working, but there's more to that in you. Mistakes are inevitable, and a slap on the wrist is what you get. Manifest a dream, even with the debt. You don't need to sweat to prove a point of progress. Speak and hide, assuming it's self-defense. It might be a woman thing, but I usually ask questions I know the answers to. Just speaking the truth, and I won't have any issues. Hiding anything is when the relationship concludes. Just for filling up this emotional balloon. The atmosphere changed, and we both calmed down. I wouldn't call it defeat because we found common ground. Shot enough language and absorbed enough rounds. Just kept shooting, not thinking about the amount. Tiffany came down for a glass of water, gave us a stare as if I'm her daughter, shakes the head like a great performer, as Paul and I randomly die from laughter. Life goes on and we will figure this out, working together as most couples should instead of getting loud. We both went upstairs and slept safe and sound. I love them genuinely as I hope my patience allows. Transparent lives in a glass house, trying to survive as life tosses us around, dreaming big with my head up in the clouds, living day after day, surprised on how, raising a daughter, fulfilling my vows, doing my best in a country where you hustle to be proud. Thank you.
Woo, bar after bar after bar. Everybody on mute and give it up for the young man right here, Daniel Fernandez. Make sure you buy his book, Emotional Defibrillator.
That was a mesmerizing story. That was really great.
Wow.
Thank you.
That was
I got it.
fire.
I got it.
Get that book.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
That's it.
And he really needs the help right now. He got car payments overdue. He picked up a job that's too far out of the way just to make his bills go. He's a young man starting off. Like, he got so much potential. Let's not squash his dream. Let's support this man in every way we can. Daniel, we appreciate you. Coming up next, first off, I want to thank Nemo Sum, because I believe it was you that brought Whisper Poet in here the other week, right? Whisper, Nemo, one of y'all. Am I right here? I believe it was Nemo that brought Whisper in here the other. I think it was
It
last.
was Nemo. Yes, you are
Yeah.
exactly right.
Was that last week?
It's been a minute.
All right. It was just, either way, I'm so glad to have you back. I remember when you showed up here, it was like, yeah, Nemo brought me in. I was like, oh, I'll talk to you on this. And then you fucking blew all of our minds. My wife and I are huge fans of you, and like, I wanna get you as a feature sometime in July if you're available. We have the 14th and the 21s, the next slots. I would love to hear like a full feature set from you. If you're cool with that, I can jot you down on the books.
Thank you so much. I would be honored.
Yeah, how does July 14th sound?
July 14th sounds fun.
Yeah, excellent. I'll jot you down. So be on the lookout July 14th from this amazing poet, Whisper Poet. Yeah, we absolutely love your work. And if you could bless us with some words, we would appreciate it so much.
That would be fantastic. This is called The Things I'll Never Know. I sat in a cafe last night, the scent of coffee rich in my nose. You don't drink coffee. I watched a man play his guitar and I wondered, are you better than him? I pictured you there in the chair on the stage, your guitar on your lap, head bent to your task, fingers moving up and down from fret to fret. You have big hands. We talked about that once, how big your hands are compared to mine. I picture you there in my mind and think of all the things I never got to see you do. I added it up once, and we spent 154,800 minutes in conversation with each other. That's 107.5 days, in case you're wondering. 107.5 days talking to each other. I know people who are married who haven't spent that much time. There are moments when I feel I know you in ways no one else ever will. And yet I don't know the sound of your footsteps in the hall. The way your hand looks with your wedding ring on it. The smile on your face when you see a car you like. Do you realize you've never given me a photo of you when you're smiling? I will never breathe in your scent as you wrap me in your arms. I'll never hold your hand and walk beside you. I will never know the sound the door makes when you come through it at the end of the day. And I'll never know the sound of I love you when you reach for me in the middle of the night. I'll never see the look on your face when I make you laugh with my silly stories. It's a strange feeling to feel so connected to you, but know nothing of your physical presence. I will never bathe in the heat of your energy, and you'll never bask in the radiance of my love. I would have given anything to feast my eyes with the sight of you, to fill my nose with your scent, to revel in the timbre of your voice and feel the shivers run down my spine when you speak my name. I wanted so very much to watch your fingers move up and down the frets, as if it was my body you were playing so deftly, and later on to watch your eyes as you make my body hum, and I sing and weep like the musician you are. I'll never get to see you all sleepy in the mornings with messy hair and funky breath. What I wouldn't pay to taste that kiss. The list is endless because I'll never get to have a life with you. I thought we would. I believed it. I believed in you with every fiber of my being. And coming to the realization I would never have any of it left me damaged beyond anything I could have ever imagined. But of all the things that I never got to know or see or experience, my biggest regret is that all of the I love yous we exchanged, not one was spoken while looking each other into the other's eyes. I will always love you, and I will always wonder.
Wow, I want you to do another
Wow.
piece, but I just want to
Yes.
say personally, that hit me deep because my wife and I met online. She was in Canada, I was in South Florida. We're like thousands of miles away, two time zones away, and we spoke for about a year and a half, almost 2 years online, video chat and falling asleep watching movies together, and like just video chat and stuff. And then one Valentine's Day, I was like, you know what? I'm coming up there. I gotta meet you, right? And she still like didn't know. She had guys hollering at her online. She didn't know that was serious, right? And yeah, I flew up to Calgary, took her to Banff, and for 9 days we had a condo in Banff. We went out to the restaurants Valentine's Day, we went caving, we went to the Wolf Dog Sanctuary, swept her off her feet, bought her some jewelry, and here we are now, almost 5 years married. And so, but I know how that feels for that year and a half. It was like just and so I could feel all that where you're like, "Oh, I'll never hear your footsteps down the hallway and this and that, like, and I'm lucky enough to have gotten with my true love there. So but that hit me, man, like it gave me flashbacks. But yeah, let's all real quick before she gets into her second piece. You might even do a third piece because you missed round one and you're closing the night out. So yeah, let's all real quick just give it up for the
Thank
beautiful
you.
and
Superb work, Whisper Poet. Superb work.
Yes.
It's
Thank you.
wonderful.
Definitely.
Thank you.
We
Keep coming
loved
back.
it.
You can make it.
There is
yeah.
Want
something that
more.
who all has had like an internet-based relationship, but there's something that happens that you're freer with your inner self. And so it's almost like, even though there are parts of each other you don't know because of that physical presence and things like that, but there's parts of you that you do give up that you don't necessarily do with people in real life so soon.
Yo, and you're right about that because when my wife and I, after we got together, and if we were be fighting or something like that, it's like we would separate and text message each other like we used to on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, then I can calculate my thoughts better and we can chat. And so it's like if we were clashing in person, we would just go, hey, let's bring it back to the roots. Like we love each other. Like I'm gonna message you. We're not gonna talk for the day. We're just gonna send messages to each other because that's how it started, right? And so we would get through any fight, rekindle that just from, you know, going back to the anonymous kind of faceless like text, you know, like and it worked. Like it worked. Like there's times where we can't stand being around each other and we're just like, well, let's just text each other for a little bit and we'll get back to where we were, you know, like so yeah, it's an amazing connection that you can make over that. And you know, not I try to stay humble, but my wife and I at one point go, the internet was invented so you and I can find each other. So
I love that.
you're welcome, everyone. You're welcome, everyone. Right? The universe made the internet so my wife and I can find each other, and we did, and we just
That's gotta
absolutely
be
love
a
each other.
bumper sticker. That's gotta be a bumper sticker.
Yeah, the internet was created so my wife and I could find each other. Like you're welcome, you know. Definitely. Oh, Mega's got a split. You got 2 minutes to hear another one from Whisper, or you bouncing. Yeah. All right. Well, we love you, Megas. Thanks for coming through and thanks for sharing your poetry with us.
Yeah, Mama's gotta go to bed.
Mama's got
Love
to go to
you.
bed too. Oh yeah, it's
Love
getting
you,
late.
babe.
It's getting late. All right. Love you,
Yeah, it's 10
Mama.
o'clock. Love
Love
you
you,
too,
everybody.
Tama.
Whisper, I want to hear some more though. I
Thank
ain't done
you.
with you yet. You ain't leaving just yet.
Did I read Minivan Meltdown last time?
I can't remember.
I don't.
And
I'm
even if
just.
you did, I want to hear it again because it was so dope. I remember whatever you read the last time you were here, I was like, oh my gosh, like she's one of my favorite poets now. I'm like, you have to be here every Friday, like, and even if you did read it, like, I want to hear it again. So,
All right. This is
Lanterns
called
out too.
Minivan Meltdown. Minivan Meltdown. I don't know why some people seem to find doing life so easy. You can't tell me they don't hurt. I don't believe their lives have been free of pain and that somehow they have dodged the karmic bullets the rest of us have lodged in our hearts in the shrapnel of life's experiences. Karmic shrapnel. There is no surgical procedure to remove it. There is no healing those wounds. The best you can hope for is to stop the bleeding, the damage, and the pain, invisible but never gone. You can't tell me they don't carry that shit the way you and I do. So why do they seem so well adjusted? In their 4-year-old Honda minivans driving to Walmart for groceries on Saturday morning? I don't know the answer. I wish I did. I mean, I'm okay with my crazy. We've made friends and do things together at least once a week. It even sends me cards on special days, like the day he left me and the day I miscarried my first child. No, I honestly don't know how some people seem to do life so effortlessly. They tell you about their problems in that exasperated suburban white bread neighborhood tone of voice, as if the neighbor's dog shitting in their yard is of utmost importance and may result in murder. Who are they kidding? For most of us, murder is what happens when his fist hits so fast, there's no moving out of the way. There's no shielding yourself from the crunch of your ribs collapsing into the shape of his steel-toed boot. You can't duck his fist when you can't see. Eye orbits are supposed to protrude, not invert. But they don't know about that kind of murder. Because they have it all together, don't they? Maybe they do. Until midnight, when everyone is in bed and she can fall apart in private, drop that mask and disintegrate into the floor, into the bed, into the bottle of vodka, liquid courage, liquid lying to yourself. He's not cheating. That lump is not cancer. The bank won't foreclose. You can't weigh hells. And just because I wear my crazy like a goddamn badge of honor on my sleeve does not mean yours is not legit underneath your wardrobe of J. Crew clothes. You live your hell every moment, just like the rest of us. Every mile you drive in that minivan, another stone on your heart. The wheels of your Walmart grocery cart rolling towards the bread aisle like a tire track of acid burned across your back from the burdens you're too afraid to share. Yeah, you have yours. I have mine. We are all victims of the traumas our ancestors cast down through the ages like curses upon our heads through DNA twisted with violence and hatred and pain and anger. We are all dying, and we are all kin. I'm sending you your membership card in the mail. Don't forget to register it online to earn points for rewards.
Everybody, you and give it up for Whisper Poet. It was
It was
so
a
dope, so
powerful
deep.
poem.
Yeah,
Wow.
like
Lots of amazing lines.
I honestly hope that that wasn't a personal experience, that the whole eye socket busted out and all that. And okay, good.
No.
Because I was like, you fucking show me where he lives, dude. Like, I'll go fucking show him what it's about. But
I was
yeah.
in the middle of writing that, and I was talking with a friend, and he was telling me how his daughter's boyfriend had done that to her. And so I was so incensed over this violence that had been done to my friend's daughter that it made it into the
Yeah.
lines of the poem.
Well, one of my good friends, who I grew up with, I hooked him up with this girl I went to school with in middle school. Right? I haven't seen her in like years and stuff, and like started talking on Facebook. I'm like, oh, you'd love my friend Henry, man. He's cool, like that. And I hooked them up, and they were together for about 6 months. And then she calls me up crying like 6 months later, and she's like, he just hit me with my phone. He like grabbed the phone out of her hand and hit her in the face with the phone, and it cracked her orbital socket.
Yeah.
And I've known this kid since I was 12. You know, I know her since I was like 15, and then didn't see her for a while. But like I've always hung out. Like this was like a good close friend of mine. He lived with me in my 20s. Like he was a close friend of mine. And when I heard that, I straight told him like, look, you still my homeboy and stuff, but I'm gonna fucking knock you out. Like I'm gonna break your face. You don't
Yeah.
do that to another woman. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Jesus Christ. You don't ever hit a woman. My dad used to beat my mom all the time, and I was too young to do anything about it. But now that I'm old enough, like I trust that. I've been out in places and I've seen men hit up on women, or my little sister was raped one night when I was sleeping on the couch, and I woke up to it, and I the CSI says it looks like you tried to paint the house with them, and all the cops are giving me props because I don't stand for that shit, man. I don't stand for it at all. And yeah, I knocked him out. I broke his cheekbone and his orbital socket so then he could feel what it was like. And I gave him a hug afterwards. So he's still my homie, but you know, what comes around goes around. And it's funny because he avoided me for like a year. It took me a year to finally gain his trust enough to come over to my house. And he's like, "You sure you don't want to be?" I'm like, "Nah, man. Like it's whatever, right?" And as soon as we were starting to hang out, I looked over at him. I said, "Guess what?" He's like, "What?" I'm like, "It's time." And just fucking knocked him out, you know. And we dropped him off at the hospital because he was knocked out and bleeding. But you know, but I was like, "Look, man, I love you, but like, yo, you don't do that to women, you know. Like you're gonna get what you got coming to you, dude. And I'm gonna be the one to enact that justice on you because I'm the one that hooked you up with her, right?" So I felt like you know, if he's gonna hit her, break her, I'm gonna have to break his face. But yeah, yeah, that stuff happens all the time, and you know, it's very sad. But I feel like that humanity gap, that empathy between the feminine and the masculine energy is starting to come a little closer. And it's not like the 50s, you know, where like beating your wife was a normal thing and you can just, I'm going for smokes, and like move the next town over and never see them again. Like we're starting to get more connected and more aware of, you know. And I know we got one of the most masculine men in the room right here, Nemo Sum, and I know he would never hit a woman. And he's one of the most hardcore masculine fucking men. Like that's a tough motherfucker right there. And he wouldn't hit a woman. So like if I know that that is possible, like, you know, it's something that needs to be brought to light and brought to people's attention, definitely, because it's not right.
You know what? He's got people. Nemo tried to step to me. I just tickled him and he started laughing.
Like a big old teddy bear. Just. All right, so Yeah, we're gonna close the show
So one
out.
more, right?
Yeah, yeah.
One more.
I want one more for you, and then I'm gonna read a goodnight poem, and then after that, I'm gonna cut the recording off, and we're gonna stay around for a freestyle after hours. So yeah, Merilee, peace. We love you. Yeah, let's hear one more poem, and then we'll go into some freestyle
All
after
right.
hours.
So we're gonna close this out with a little something sweet, a little something from the heart. Okay.
All
This one
right.
is called Grandma. Her name was Josephine, but her real name was the quiet strength of a woman who knew exactly who she was and what her role was in this world. Grandma, I dug potatoes in her garden, the velvet dirt rich and black, turned over with my little spade to reveal the tiny tubers, a child pirate's treasure of leafy green jewels. She would lift the huge elephant ear leaves of the pumpkins and melons to show me the nascent beauty of the sleeping fruits. I would breathe in the sharp, clean scent of the tomato plants, their hairy green stems tickling as I plucked the bright red flavor bombs from their wire and mesh vines. I remember her smile when my bite into a fat, juicy one shot seeds and juice 5 feet in front of me. The garden is peace and safety and lulling heat. A few rows over, the tall, fringy fronds of dill sway gently. It will flavor the pickles Grandma makes every year. Crunchy, sour pickles devoured straight from the sweating glass of the mason jar. I greedily drink down the juice and fish out the softened garlic cloves to mash them between my front teeth. In the near distance, the contented clucking of her chickens in the lazy afternoon. At Grandma's, every meal is a feast, punctuated by endless rolls of homemade yeast bread that she makes every Friday. My tummy full of her love, I slip on my nightgown. Grandma made it for me from the fabric I picked out on our Friday night trip to Rose's. I'm tired. I slip between the crisp sheets of the dark-stained antique bed. Grandma, I call. I won't sleep without her. She wraps her solid strength around me, and I dream of her grapevine and its sweet purple-black muscadines, my fingers and mouth sticky with juice. Her name was Josephine, but her name was really love.
Oh, that last line. I never met my grandmother on my mother's side or my father's side, but my stepdad, I met her, and she was so funny. I know where my stepdad got his humor from. Unfortunately, she passed away on I think it was my 25th or 26th birthday, on my birthday.
Oh, wow.
And my family didn't tell me until after my birthday because they wanted me to enjoy my birthday, right? And that would totally kill my day. But yeah, she was in a nursing home and she choked on a hot dog. But so I haven't really known my grandma as much, but I had that one, my stepfather's mom, and she was like the same way, man. She asked me, "What do you want for Christmas this year?" And she used to make the best lasagna. Like I'm talking about like big full black olives in it, chunks of like half strips of bacon in there. Like it was like the best lasagna. So I was like, all I want from Christmas for you is a lasagna. And she made me two. So I was like, fuck it. I was living at my house was like the party house at the time. So like everyone got to eat grandma's lasagna, dude. We munched it up. I had my birthday party. It was fucking wonderful, man. Yo, and pickled garlics. Whoo, they're my favorite too. I'll be digging down into the
I
bottom of
know,
the
I
jar
saw
to pull
you
them things out
snapping when
too.
I was out the garlic.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, yo. They actually have just like straight jars of pickled garlic, and it's
Yeah.
so good because it takes like that real pungentness out of it, and they're just
Mm-hmm.
crispy and like delicious, and you get all the health benefits from it. Garlic's actually very healthy for you. So
It
yeah,
is.
pickled garlic, grandma's
That's
lasagnas.
Now,
Yo,
hold up. I got to ask you a question. So I've never heard of lasagna made with bacon before. Is this a Canadian thing?
no, so she's from South Florida, or she's originally from. God, where were they from? I think I want to say Ohio, but no. I think Virginia, West Virginia is where they're originally from, and then she moved
Mm-hmm.
down to South Florida. She lived in South Florida for a long time. I don't know where she got the recipe from or how long she, it's been passed down from the family or whatever, but like she would put big halves, she'd fry them up first and stick them in the lasagna so they were still crispy, and like big black olives in there, and like just, oh, it was the best fucking lasagna I ever had in my life. I remember we showed up early to her house for dinner one night and she was cooking, and I was like, can I help you? Because I love cooking, right? And she's like, yeah, come on, and she was showing me. And then when she asked me what I wanted for Christmas, I'm in my mid-20s, living on my own. I'm like, honestly, I want a lasagna. Like, if you can make me a lasagna, like, fuck it. And she made me two, like two
Yeah.
big ass lasagnas, dude. So me and all my buddies got to fucking eat it, dude. Like, we just love.
Yeah, or
They're like, yo, we need the
hot
recipe.
nut.
Yeah, yeah. It was the party house, right? So we're all fucked up. They're like, this is the best lasagna ever, man. Like, yeah. And I asked her for the recipe and she was gonna get it to me, but unfortunately she passed away before I got the recipe from her. But I kind of remember what's in it, and I remember putting one together with her. So I might be able to pull it off, not as good as she is, but I'm a good cook, so I might, I might be able to work some magic. But bacon and the big black olives, pitted, big pitted black olives and like half strips of like thick, cut wide bacon chunks in there. Oh boy, I'll tell you what, I would kill for that right
You
now.
get that love memory attached to it, so it really makes it
Yeah,
good in your
yeah.
mind.
I loved your line too about going to sleep in the PJs that she made from the cloth that you picked out like that, because like that's like a hug from grandma all night long, right?
Yeah.
Like that's so beautiful. It's so
I wish I
beautiful.
still had those nightgowns. She made me one every year for my birthday and for Christmas. And
Oh,
I,
so you had a fresh one every year. Oh,
yep, and I wish I had
that's
saved it. It
awesome.
would have been great for quilting.
Yeah,
Good thing.
yeah,
But
definitely.
hopefully that segues well into your goodnight poem.
Yeah, it is. It segues very well into my goodnight poem, in fact. And I just wanted to thank you again. I know this is your second time here, and we really appreciate you showing up, and we really appreciate your words. And again, thank you, Nemo, for introducing her to the space, because she's part of the Open Minds family now. Tell her she can't go nowhere. You trapped. If you ain't got nothing to do on a Friday night, you better be here, girl, because we want to hear more and more and more of you. And I got you marked down for July 14th for a feature. I'll be in contact with you probably in the beginning of July sometime. We'll make up some promotional materials, run by how we do the set. I kind of like how we did the set tonight. If it's split in half, unless you have one feature you want to do, we'll do like the round one feature, then round two. But if you want to split it into two, we can do like 5 from the round. Because we were doing the features at the beginning of the shows, and we found that, so many people show up a half hour late. It was like they were missing the first half of the feature. So I started doing, well, let's do round one, give people time to show up and then do the feature. But while we were doing round one, it would get that round one list kept getting bigger and bigger. And we'd be like on 12 people for the round one list, and the feature wouldn't be able to start till an hour and a half, hour, 40 minutes into the show. So I was like, well, let's put a limit on it, right? We'll read, 5 from the thing. We'll do the first feature, and then read 5 more, do second feature, and then wrap it up, right? Like,
I
so
really liked the energy in the room tonight as a result of that, of him doing some, and then there's other people reading, and then he's doing it again. I really felt like
and
the
then we
energy
got that
stayed
encore
up.
from him too. Like it was,
Right,
I like it,
right.
man. Yeah, my wife recommended we do it this week, and I think that's how we're gonna go moving forward. I think that's how we'll do it, because then it keeps, the open micers going, and like, oh, I'm not too far up ahead, and got a little feature set. Everyone by then should be showed up to see the feature set, and then hear a little bit more open mic, and then they get to the end of the feature set. And if you leave after that, whatever, we got round two going, and it's the open micers for that. So I really like the pace of the show tonight. It was really good. So I'm gonna read this poem here, and then I'll stop the recording, and then we're gonna do a freestyle. Time I gotta get some other people back in this room, but yeah, me and Daniel are gonna work on a poem, so we trying to freestyle it and get the creative juices going again. But thank you, beautiful soul, for sharing your heart. Thank you for being here, for caring for art. Thank you for unfolding the wholeness, for being a part, for participating in our mission to spread light into the dark. Thank you for stimulating transmission and widespread sight. Thank you for visiting Open Minds, Open Mic. Good night.